Talk shoes. Recorded live.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Movement Boxing Podcast. We got a lot of interesting topics to cover this week, a lot of reviews from last week, which was a busy week for the sport of boxing. As usual, you know, we got our co-host, the panel on today. We got Bo and Bernard, both the truth and facts about boxing. We also got TK the guy from the Guys of Boxing Talk. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Doing good.
Blessed and highly favored.
Ready, aimed, armed, and dangerous.
For sure.
Viva la America.
Our boy Big Cool, a.k.a. Rocky Slop, couldn't be on with us today, you know, previous engagement, so we gonna hold it down for him today, man, and you know he'll be back on Sunday, you know, when we kick off again to cover the weekends, this upcoming weekend's fights. With that said, we go ahead and get the show started, kick it off with these fight reviews from the past weekend. We gonna start off with the Showtime card, which was probably the more competitive card of the weekend, so I kind of think it deserves some shine just for that. We had in the main event, Abner Mares facing Jesus Cuellar. So we'll go ahead and start with that. Abner Mares won. The decision was kind of controversial. It was a one-sided fight, you know, but we ended up with a split decision for Abner in favor of Abner Mares. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with 2K, man. What you think of this fight?
Yeah, just like you said, that damn decision was ridiculously controversial, man. 115-112 for Jesus Cuellar, man. I had it I think I had it 117-110 for Abner Mares. Only gave Cuellar 3 rounds, and that shit was a stretch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Abner Mares, man, that motherfucker brought me back to 2012, fam, and y'all already know what I'm about to talk about. When, you know, I was in the streets promoting that nigga Anselmo Moreno, telling everybody, you know what I'm saying? Telling everybody how Moreno is the next Floyd Mayweather. No, I ain't go that far, but shit, I just damn well might have. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Fucking Mares went in there and just beat the dog shit out of him. That's exactly the way he looked in this fight, man. Beautiful boxing. He displayed a beautiful jab. I feel like I want to slap the shit out of myself because of my prediction video. This is the only fucking fight I got wrong in our prediction videos anyway on my channel. But I said that Robert Garcia probably wouldn't do much more for him because he's not that type of trainer. He's more so good at looking at what you're already good at and making that better. He's not going to actually, you know, bring you back to what you used to be or teach you new tricks. Man, he did exactly the opposite of what the fuck I said, man. He did an excellent job. He had him in there jabbing. Motherfucker was, I remember one exchange in particular, man. Mares moved back towards the ropes, and he was on the ropes, and Cuellar came in for the kill, and he threw like a 4-punch combination, and Mares dodged every single punch. He moved his upper body beautifully, man, dodged his punch, and then dodged all his punches, and then turned Cuellar. He didn't throw any punches back. He didn't really need to. I mean, motherfucker was trying to be like Pernell Whitaker, like a motherfucker on there. And he did a good job. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, man, it was an excellent fight. If Mares boxes like that, if that becomes his style, more of his style, I don't want to say becomes his style, but more of his style, if he displays that more in future fights, because, you know, he's talking about facing anybody he could fight, the Lee Selby's, the Gary Russells, the Carl Framptons, whoever, you know, they try to put in front of him who are actually the elite in the division. If he fights like that, man, he could give anybody in that division trouble, man. It was a great win for Mares.
Yeah. You know, prior to that, I thought pretty much Mares was finished. Prior to this fight, I thought he was done, man. The done data, especially going to Robert Garcia, you know, I thought he's going to try and keep him a pressure fighter, which is what Mares has been doing in more recent years, you know, exchanging a lot more. So I was definitely surprised to see him come out boxing, man, and sticking with it on the outside, man. And, yeah, he definitely rejuvenated his career with this win. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Bo. What did you make of the fight? I also got my prediction wrong on this one. I thought Cuellar was going to knock him.
honestly. But what did you think about the fight?
Well, there's two things there's one thing important I think we overlooked. We all forgot Robert Garcia once trained Cuellar.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
We overlooked the fact, because I didn't remember it till I heard them even mention it, that, he used to train. I'm like, oh, shit. So, yeah, Robert used to train Cuellar. So he knew exactly what to prepare Martyrs for. And I don't know what's going on, man, but Freddie Roach been taking some L's here lately, man. Have y'all been noticing that? Freddie Roach been taking some L's here lately. But
never there. I mean, the list goes on, too.
Yeah, Freddie Roach been taking these L's. But no, Martyrs, that Martyrs that I saw, that's the Martyrs I thought was going. I'm with UK. I mean, you can't really say much because I want to say a good 80-85% of the general public just knew, okay, that's it from Martyrs. He was out of here. There was a lot of things he had going against him. Like you said, he had the surgery. I didn't think he could move like that anymore. That Martyrs, I miss that Martyrs. I wish that's the Martyrs that had fought Leo Santa Cruz. It would have been a different outcome. But I'm glad to see him back. He's calling out people. And you know what? I'm actually going to give Martyrs props because he was one of the cats I used to fuck with because he went from 118 straight to 126, and we all think we know why. He skipped 122. But the judges, that shit, I damn near choked on my water when I had split decisions. Because I gave Cuellar 2 mercy fucking rounds. And Juan said, I think when you started off, what did you say? You said questionable decision? No, that shit was fucking ridiculous. That was a ridiculous scorecard. That was a straight wash. I mean, if they was playing cards, Martyrs had a straight motherfucking flush. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So, the stuff like that I hate because when you get split decisions or close decisions, you get some dumbass that'll say some shit like, oh, well, they should have a rematch because it was a close fight. It never fucking was. And that's the shit that I started seeing, and I immediately took myself out there and I said, no, I'm not doing this today. I'm not doing this shit today. But, yeah, man, excellent performance. Props to Garcia because, I've always said the most technical fighter I've ever seen coming out there at camp is Mikey Garcia. But Martyrs showed us something. And to 2Ks, I think it was either you or your co-host Seth said something that if Martyrs is going to win, he's going to have to use the jab. But Cuellar didn't have the jab either. And Martyrs used that jab to perfection.
Yeah, he did.
All right, so we're going to swing it over to the undercard fight that was highly anticipated as well, like the main event. Also a fight that was delayed due to, injury on one part and just lagging, for other reasons. But we finally got it, both fights were delayed and were supposed to happen earlier in the year. So we finally got the what I thought was the highlight fight of the night for me personally because I was looking forward to it more than anything. We had Charlo defending his IBF junior middleweight title against Julian J. Rock Williams in a highly anticipated bout. Man, I fucking washed on this one too, homie. Like I swung and missed big time on both of these fights. Charlo, 5th round knockout. Man, what can I say? We're going to go ahead. I'll switch up the order on this one. I'll start off with Bernard on this one, man. What did you take to the fight?
2 words. 2 words. 2 of my favorite words. Hold on.
Let me go to my power box.
Hold on. I know. Let me
climb this much before with my kickers.
Hey, no, hold on. My 2 favorite words. What's my 2 favorite words? Lights out.
Out.
Oh, man. That was a beautiful counter uppercut from Jamal Charlo. I mean, you know what? I'm not going to really go in, but I want 2K to break it down again on why Julian Williams did what he did and he messed up. I'm gonna let him do that, but I'm just gonna keep it short and simple. It was 2 words: lights out, and it was a beautiful uppercut from Jamal, a counter uppercut at that from Jamal.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right. Let me get your take on this, Bernard. Did you think it was a fairly even matchup, though, just from what you saw the fight, over the 5 rounds? Was that an impression you got, or was it like, did you think it was one-sided or anything like that?
You know what? I don't think it was it wasn't one-sided. Let's give credit to Julian Williams. He was getting Charlo with some good shots. He got it with a good straight right and one of the rounds. I forgot what round that was, but his speed, Williams' speed, I thought was giving Charlo a little bit of trouble. But you saw it as once after that 4th round. Usually, if a fighter ain't got to figure it out, but Charlo figured it out after the 4th round. Remember, I forgot what round he knocked him down with the jab. So you know that
the second round.
The second round, he knocked down Julian Williams with the jab with the jab. So that's a shock in itself, and it kind of shocked Williams. So, but Charlo didn't go in for the kill because he knew he wasn't danger. But it was both of them was doing good. It's just that Williams stayed a little bit. What he should have did was 1-2, got out the way, but he didn't. And it happened. So, but no, it was to me. I was expecting the fight to go 12 rounds, and from what I saw, Julian Williams just made a mistake, and he called him. Let me say this. I gotta take this because he called him in one of the spots that 2K be telling y'all about, right there behind the chin, right there with that uppercut. Yeah. So, man. All credit go to Charlo, but I'm gonna give credit to Julian Williams. He fought a good fight. Fought a real good fight.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and pass it to our breakdown analyst expert himself.
Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. Did I just listen to my co-host pretty much get down on one knee and kiss the yellow white stain of 2K's ass and all that shit he was doing?
Hey, Bo, you need to be doing it too, Bo. Bernard.
No. I posted my shit online. There's a dark-skinned motherfucker on this phone right now that needs to acknowledge to that light-skinned motherfucker that he don't like that he was right.
Bo, what's his name? What was his name again? What's he called? The Devon?
Lamar? Is it Lamar McCallum?
Y'all going big cool on me this week. I see.
Hey,
all right, that's how it is.
Hold on. He broke his feet. Y'all two got to eat crow because me and 2K over here picked Charlo. So,
I was not going to do it. I'm not going to partake in anything that's bringing light-skinned niggas back in style. Like, I can't do it.
Lord, boy. And this is why your black ass is single.
Yo, that's all right. Damn. I don't mind not one bit. You know what I'm saying? But like I already tooted my damn horn so many fucking times. I ain't gonna do it right now. I've done it too many damn times.
Yeah, the fuck you is. Quit lying.
I've been doing it.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'll do it. Yo, 2K was right, motherfucker. He was right. He told y'all. Julian J-Rock Williams came in there with
Hey, what's that shit? Wesley Snipes said in White Men Can't Jump. The sun shines on the dog's ass some days, you know. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't no hell no. That sun shining on my ass almost every goddamn day this whole year, motherfucker.
Let's get your breakdown on this fight, 2K. What you saw, things you liked from both fighters.
No doubt. Well, I'll start with what I like because I pretty much have already said what needed to be done on both sides. My prediction video on what in our last podcast. What I did like, Jamal Charlo's IQ surprised the shit out of me. One of the things that I noticed looking at his past fights is that his jab was one-dimensional. He doesn't really go below and up top with it. And then he really just used it to get closer to his opponent, man. Just what basic boxer punches do. They throw the jab out there to get closer to their opponent. But I knew his jab was stiff, and I mentioned in my prediction video that he does have a Kovalev-type jab when he sits down on it. But his IQ, man, the jab straight right combination that Julian Williams threw, and then Charlo caught the straight right on his left shoulder and immediately turned or rotated into a right uppercut, a counter right uppercut. That type of shit right there is pure IQ and technique, man.
Textbook, that's textbook right there.
Exactly. You can't teach that to everybody, man. All you young motherfuckers out there that want to box, look at that shit, go home and practice that shit every fucking day, fam. That shit right there surprised me. Also, Julian Williams, he surprised me, and this is going to be negative. He surprised me with his lack of strategic execution, man. I'm like, to me, I don't know if Bermaine told him. In my prediction video, I said I think Bermaine is going to tell him to box. I don't know if Bermaine told him that shit or not, but I'm going to assume he did. And if he did, Julian did not execute the strategy properly at all. Bro, it's common sense. Look at Charlo's last fight against Austin Trout. Austin Trout outboxed Charlo for the majority of the fight. Now, Charlo got the win, and I don't mind Charlo getting the win, but the fact that the fight was even close was because Austin Trout utilized his jab, and he kept fucking moving, okay? Now, against Joey Hernandez, Julian Williams was boxing the shit out this dude. You know what I'm saying? He was using a jab, going up top, going below. He was turning Joey Hernandez. He was using the ring. Now, he did that against Charlo, but I didn't see him really fully do that until after he got knocked down. In the second round, he got knocked down. He got up. That's when he started using the jab a lot. That's when he started turning him. That's when he started backing up, throwing combinations, moving laterally. That's when he started doing that. And then I think in round 3 or 4, he did it the entire round, and I ended up giving him that round. But, dude, the reason why he got knocked out is exactly why I said he shouldn't do. And in our prediction video and then on the other podcast, he cannot throw his punches or his combinations and stand there in front of Jamal Charlo. That's that alpha male Philadelphia shit, fam. That's that, I'm about to throw this shit, nigga, and I'm not moving out of my position because I'm motherfucking me. Okay, well, if you're going to do that against a nigga like Jamal Charlo, like I said in the goddamn weigh-in, this is a dude that looked at Julian Williams and gave him this smirk like, this bitch-ass nigga about to get knocked the fuck out. That's how he was looking at him. And I even showed my wife the weigh-in, and without even telling her who was who, I said, who is the alpha male just looking at this weigh-in? She said, the darker guy with the tattoos, who was Jamal Charlo. I said, why? She was like, he just looked like he's too confident. Like this is going to be an easy fight. Exactly. My wife can notice that shit. I mean, it was something that's etched in stone. So, I don't know, man. I'd really like to talk to Bermaine and get his opinion on the fight, because I really want to know what was said to Julian. And why is it that he did not elect to use his jab and his combination punching and his lateral movement? He had superior movement to Jamal Charlo, like completely superior, okay? And Charlo is obviously susceptible to the jab. So why didn't he do that? And I knew it was going to be a situation that he wasn't going to box the whole round. And I also told you guys, I said there's a chance that Julian Williams will get knocked down. I said that as well. So when Jamal hit him with the jab and knocked him down, I was telling my wife, I was like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. But when he hit him with that uppercut, I did not know that was going to happen. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
We haven't seen Jamal display that kind of ring IQ in any of his fights yet. We have seen him knock someone down off the jab before in the K9 Bunridge, so, that was a proven thing. Like, when he does put his jab out there for real is something to use. I think one of the things I noticed most is that, I guess something that Bo brought up on one of our past shows, when a fighter knows that another fighter doesn't belong in the ring, and he gets him out of there. Charlo went in there and he did that. I think once he knew that he could get Williams out of there with the jab and he felt what power he had, I think he kind of overlooked everything. It's like, I'm taking this fool out. I'll eat some leather to get him out of there, even. You know, because J-Rock actually was kind of good, did do some positive things in the fight, and it wasn't, it wasn't like Charlo swept all the rounds, Let me go ahead and pass it on to Bo on this one, man. What did you take from the fight?
My take on the fight is that I think you owe 2K his props for predicting the victory. That's my take on the fight.
Nah, so I'll keep it like you said on your show.
Oh, that's all right. How you feel, huh? Okay. No, you know what though? This is something that I said too. I said, everything is going to depend on who reacts worse to the other guy's biggest punch. And when J-Rock went down for that jab, two things happened. Charlo did something very smart, like 2K said. I had no idea his ring IQ was like that. I do want to make a correction. He didn't catch it with his shoulder. He caught it with his hand and then turned it into an uppercut. But Charlo did something very smart when he knocked him down that second round from a jab.
Bo, hold on. That's a negative, fam. Go back and watch it. He turned his left shoulder.
Yeah, I looked at it again. He didn't catch it with his hand.
I thought he put his hand up. Okay.
He didn't catch it with his hand.
Hey, Bo, I got the video.
Hold on. He caught it with his left shoulder, fam. I watched it like 8 times, fam. He caught it with his left shoulder. Yeah.
Okay. But
I'll send you the video.
He caught it? No, I got the shit. Nigga, fuck you. I got the shit.
Nah, he didn't catch it with his hand. If it did, it was accidental.
It's a clear turn. He clearly turned. He clearly turned to his right, and his shoulder, the right hand hit his shoulder, and then he rotated back up with the right uppercut. It's clear. It's clear when you look at it. He did a perfect catch and shoot. That was beautiful. But when he knocked J-Rock down in that second round, he didn't bum rush J-Rock right at all. He didn't, and I thought that was so smart that he didn't right away bum rush him to jump on him. He waited to see how he was, and J-Rock responded well to being knocked down. Like I think it was Twan said, when J-Rock got up, that's when he really started doing things. That's when he really started doing things right. But when Charlo realized that J-Rock didn't have anything for him, because J-Rock hit him with a couple of hard right hands, Charlo had a better chin than I imagined. I wasn't shocked when he knocked him down with a jab because just like somebody said, I've seen him do that before. So I wasn't shocked when he knocked J-Rock down with the jab. But what got me was not just so much the lack of, and this is why I said, man, I don't think J-Rock should try to box with Charlo, because J-Rock, I don't know if he, like when he did box that one guy, but again, the guy he fought had limited boxing skills. J-Rock sometimes, for some other reason, and maybe that's that Philadelphia in him, he believes in his power, and when he believes in that power, he goes out there to try to really hurt you and put some on you, and I think that's what got him knocked out was he figured, hey, I'm going to hit this dude with this right hand and give him a taste of what he gave me a taste of and see how he responds. And when he didn't get that response, instead of him sticking to the game plan of boxing and moving like he did when he got knocked down, he tried to stand there, throw a punch, and he just left himself wide open for that counter. So, I mean, it was beautiful, man. I mean, I take nothing away from either one of these dudes. We had 2 undefeated young lions go at it. And I just want to say the people that was talking shit about how, J-Rock is done and all that, man, y'all need to learn the sport of boxing. Everybody that took a fucking loss. But this was because from round one all the way on, J-Rock was matching Charlo skill for skill. The difference was, just like 2K said, Charlo had a better ring IQ. Charlo had a better experience learning factor. When you look at, and that's something I even ignored, when you look at the people Charlo had been in there with, he had a better learning curve than J-Rock, and it showed in that fight. And on top of that, he went into this fight, and on top of that, he went into this fight because he wanted this fight. Charlo had every reason not to take this fight. He had a hard time making weight. Like somebody said, wasn't nobody really pressing him to even make this fight, so he didn't have to take this fight. So I give both of them props for this.
J-Rock showed me a lot of heart because he got up from that knockdown. There's a lot of motherfuckers that wouldn't even get up from that knockdown. And he got up from that knockdown, and I give him props. And for people that want to say something to me about what Charlo did when the fight was over with, kiss my black fucking ass.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Bernard speak on that one. I just want to say I agree with you on that, Bo, as well. The experience and the strength were pretty much the biggest difference in that fight. The experience had to play a big role, especially fighting a guy like Austin Trout. That prepares you for a lot just stylistically when it comes to fighting on the outside. J-Rock did some effective things. I liked how he was jabbing up top into the body, switching it up. I liked how he was doing that. That seemed to keep Charlo at bay, and confused him early on when Williams did do it. But he started opening up his offense, and, when you open up your offense, you open yourself up for more. But, this ain't the last we've seen of J-Rock. Dude is a game fighter, you know what I'm saying? Everybody take a L, all this keeping your own stuff, man. That shit ain't realistic, dog. Like, it's just not the best take L's. But, Nora, let me get your take on what happened in the post-fight and as well as the press conference with Demetrius Andrade. We going first, there was a little, I guess, some high emotions at the end. Charlo didn't want to shake hands with J-Rock, who came over and tried to embrace him after the fight. What did you take of all that? What's your take on it, man?
I think I said it in our group that Charlo was still emotional after the fight. J-Rock had been saying all this stuff about him the whole time leading up to the fight. He beat J-Rock. He knocked J-Rock out, and he was still hyped, and he still had that adrenaline rush in him, and he still was heated and emotional. The fact that, I'll put it like this, the fact that he publicly apologized to him in front of everybody on the microphone, I give him the utmost respect. People need to get over it. He was hot. We all did that once before. Got into it, was like, probably did it not just boxing, but even another sport, was real heated, beat a team, and didn't want to shake their hand, but then afterwards he's like, you know what? Hey, good. Then you show good sportsmanship. It happens. Get over it. It was nothing bad. The fact that he was a man about his apologized for making that mistake, and he said he was emotional about it, it is what it is. Then he took a picture with the man and still said what he said, and that he was emotional about it. So there's nothing to be said about it. You know what? I'm going to outright say it. Now, I'm going to come from another theory, but with the fuckery. If I was Charlo, I will milk that shit and be trying to make myself become a new villain in boxing.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's basically what, boxing is coming to where we got to match certain other combat sports with the gimmickry, with the gimmicks.
You already associated with Al Heyman. Don't nobody like your ass. Yeah. Why not embrace that shit? Shoot.
I wouldn't mind it, man. We need bad guys in boxing, and UCAB has played that shit to the T, and is even though he hasn't necessarily grown as much as a fighter as we thought he would in the over the past couple of years, he's still maximizing his profits and his money because he's playing that role. So
yes, sir.
I guess I'm gonna take it to all y'all on this one, man. And also, it's okay for what Charlo did, man. In the heat of emotion, shit happens. These guys are fucking gladiators. Like, they're not fucking playing cards or Connect Four.
Yep.
So, shit is going to be heated. These two guys are friends, originally. And, with things happening over the last year or so with this fight being built and knowing they would have to eventually face each other, shit just got heated, man. Some things are said, between, I guess, mainly from J-Rock's camp that Charlo didn't appreciate. He kept mum about it, and he took it out in the ring. So, I can't knock him for that shit. Post-fight press conference was pretty interesting. We had Demetrius Andrade come in there, doing his shit, trying to call out. Let me get y'all take on this one, man. What did y'all think of that? What happened at the post-fight press conference with Demetrius Andrade trying to call out both Charlos and, just all this.
That he was supposed to do. What the fuck did we? Yep. Did we not say Hey,
yes, sir.
These motherfuckers need to start invading shit. He did exactly what he was supposed to. The only thing that pissed me off is when the motherfucker took the mic from him. I wanted him to finish. I wanted him to finish.
Came with respect. Yo, he came respectfully, though. He didn't talk back. Hey,
hold on, wait a minute. Let's be clear. Boo Boo only said something when he heard his fucking name. Go back and watch that shit. When he heard his name about best fighting the best, and somebody said something about fighting Andrade, he said, I would love to fight. And he raised his hand and said, when can we make that happen? Yeah. When he heard his name, see, people get shit twisted. People think, no. When he heard his name, if that had been me, I'd have done the same thing. When you open your mouth and my name come out your mouth, you're going to see my goddamn fucking face.
Well, that's
what you need to understand.
You can go even further, Bo. Like, he was actually cordial until Jamal tried to do that whole shit and act like he didn't know who Demetrius Andrade was. That's when he was like, motherfucker, because he goes, I understand, you were defeated or something like that. And Demetrius was like, nigga, you know, motherfucker, you know me.
Wait, you know what now?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to disagree just a little bit on that one. Because here's the thing. Here's my thing. And I already know, I know where you're coming from. But my thing is this, though. If I just won a fight in my career and you come in there, all right, to a certain degree, I'm going to feel like, man, who the fuck is you in my motherfucking press conference saying something? However, I do agree with you. Him trying to play Andrade to the left like that, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Are you undefeated?
This ain't the first time, though. You got to think. Charles Hatley came in the ring against, you got to remember, Charles Hatley came in the ring last time, against the Charles fight, So this is becoming a habit.
But what do I say? I said you can't throw stones to live in the glass house. The reason why I'm saying I ain't have a problem with Charlo did in that ring with J-Rock, because I've done that shit before myself as a fighter. So I'm not going to condemn a dude for something that I've done and still might fucking do if you talk to me like that on that level that they was talking to, okay? But at the same time, though, I get Charlo probably felt like my press conference, but my issue with him doing it to Boo, like I said, I get where he came from with it. My issue with him doing it to Boo Boo was the fact that he told me something, you undefeated. I'd have came at him at an angle like, well, hey, how about next time you turn the paperwork in on time? Some shit like that. Don't play
if you look at Fight Hype, Jamel actually did point that out. He pointed that on Fight Hype.
That's all.
So that's my main issue.
That's all fine and dandy, but I understand what you're trying to say, but, Bo, that's not how he did it. This nigga genuinely tried to act as if he had no idea who Demetrius Andrade was, and this was a motherfucker that is a former champion in your division. Actually, while he was champion, he was going to fight your twin brother back in December of 2014, and while he was champion, you were still trying to get your fucking name out there. Don't act like you don't know who the motherfucker is that's calling you out. I think that's some pussy-ass hoe shit. Now, what I would have done, I'd have been like, nigga, you ain't been in the ring since 2001, nigga. Go fight somebody first, then come fuck with me. That's what I would have said. I wouldn't have been like, I understand, you're undefeated. Nigga, you know that. Quit acting like a dumb mother. That's in Texas. Texas niggas act like that, dog. I live here. Texas niggas act like that, fam. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
You live. Hold on, wait a minute. Tell everybody where you from, though.
He said, give him your address. Give him your address.
Right. No.
I can't stand it. As soon as he did it, that's exactly what I was like, man, there's that goddamn Texas shit, man. Well, these niggas, you know what I'm saying? They niggas get at them, they be like, nigga, shit, I don't know you, nigga, I don't know you. They do that here, man. Fuck that bullshit, dog. You know who that nigga is. Tell him, look, nigga, do something. Or say, yeah, nigga, we gonna fight when you sign the contract. Say something, nigga. Don't act like you don't know him. That's some hoe shit,
hold on. Then he was saying I don't make the matches. I'm not the matchmaker. I was like, he was saying that it's cornball shit, man. Nah, you did all that shit. Now it's like,
I mean, I guess I learned more from listening to Jermel's Fight Hype interview than I did just going off of everything else, man. I kind of feel like they're playing it like the shoes on the other foot now. Andre tried to play them tried to play Jermell at least when it came down to them fighting a couple years ago. I actually went to Vegas for that fight. It was supposed to be on the Miracon Devin Alexander card, and I was kind of pissed when it didn't go down because that was my whole reason for fucking going to Vegas, honestly, was for that fight and to see Keith Thurman. So I'm like, the shoes on the other foot, and, you know, they being assholes about it. That's just simply what it is right now. We all agree that Andre is probably hands down the top guy at 154 out of everybody. But his business-wise, like it just hasn't.
I'm gonna make disagree right with that.
All right, well, let me go ahead and finish this, man. But outside of that, man, Andre's business, you know what I'm saying, it just ain't looking right, man. He's had a lot of things hold him back. Why he resigned with Star and Banner Promotions. It was supposedly to help him stay in better control of his career, but he's only had one fight. Nothing like, you know, really panned out since then, going the first bid again against Kuke. So I'm like, there's a lot of shit, you know, that Boo Boo needs to get straight on his end. But I definitely would love to see the fight happen. It's looking like Jamal is going to be moving up. Ronnie Shields has been saying this for a while that, you know, this will be most likely be Jamal's last fight at 154. So with that said, we're going to move on to the next card over in the UK. The UK card featuring Anthony Joshua and Eric Molina for his IBF heavyweight title. There ain't much to really break down on that one, but I'll go ahead and let it be done. I didn't even watch that shit personally because I just knew what it was going to be when it came to Joshua and Molina. I'll pass it over to TK, man.
Man, well, it's going to be quick. What I've seen, man, Eric Molina go in there and get a paycheck, man. And I'm going to just say this. Deontay Wilder, his footwork is much faster than Anthony Joshua's. I think we can all agree on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Deontay Wilder hit probably just as hard, maybe even harder than Anthony Joshua. I mean, he's got a 33-0, 32 knockouts. We can all agree on that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that said, Eric Molina was able to get inside of Deontay Wilder, a moving heavyweight with extreme power, and he utilizes the majority of his power from a distance. And I think he has the same reach, if not longer, than Anthony Joshua. Okay? So how is it that you can get inside of him, but when this fight rings, the bell rings for the first round, you decide to stay on the outside the entire fucking fight with your back on the ropes? Get the fuck out of here, man. It just doesn't look right to me, dog. I'm like, dog, this is an easy game plan. Anthony Joshua doesn't fucking move that much. He moves backwards and forward. He doesn't use lateral movement like Deontay Wilder does. Okay? Yes, I think Joshua has a better jab than Deontay Wilder simply because Deontay Wilder uses a jab just to set up a straight right hand. He's not really putting everything into his jab. Whereas Anthony Joshua's jab is, again, like a Sergey Kovalev type of jab. I mean, he can knock you the fuck out with a jab. Okay? Dominic Brazil was getting killed by the jab. You know what I'm saying? So he has a better jab, yes. But if the guy isn't moving that much, then why is it so hard for you to get inside of him, but you could get inside another guy that was moving? So to me, man, it just looked like he pulled another Charles Martin, which is exactly what I didn't think he would do. And to be honest with you, it seems like his three opponents after the Dillian White fight, the only fight that we've actually seen this motherfucker work in or get worked in, Dillian White wanted that fight so bad that he made Anthony Joshua work. He hurt him early, almost got the KO on the motherfucker if his clumsy ass wasn't, didn't have that drunken man fucking balance. You know what I'm saying? Nigga looked like he on rollerblades in the ring and shit. If he didn't have that problem, he probably would have got the KO. You know what I'm saying? But it seems to me, man, after that fight, everybody just seems to go in there and just get beat up and lay down. I don't know. Maybe I'm off on a tangent, but this was a bullshit fight for me, man.
All right. And this is something actually. We did me and Bo did a show with Ingram Jones. You know what I'm saying, from Baylor TV over in the UK yesterday, and he mentioned he was going off about pretty much Eddie Hearn. there's some foul play, man. So I'm not gonna speak. I'm not gonna say there's fixing and shit like that. But you said there's some weird shit going on as far as it comes to Eddie Hearn and manipulating rankings and things like that. So there's some big shit going on over there with Eddie Hearn. I'll go ahead and pass it on to Bo. What did you take from this fight as far as what it leads up to? I guess this was a setup fight. Now it's supposed to be Anthony Joshua facing Vladimir Klitschko for the WBA super title and the IBF and IBO titles. Bo, can you give us some info on this, man? What you think?
There's no guarantee for sure that this fight will happen. We heard Eddie Hearn say this before. As a matter of fact, Klitschko even looked a little confused when he heard it. Did you see him look back like, did the shit really happen? This shit going on. I don't remember signing no papers. I'm gonna tell you what.
It's on box.
I'm not going.
By the way.
Yeah. I'm not gonna talk this much about the fight because here's the thing, and the only time Deontay Wilder ever showed me he had a good jab is when he broke his right hand against Chris Arreola. That's really other than that he predominantly depends on his right hand. But I saw Eric Molina fall down in his corner, right? And he was laying in his corner, and he looked at the corner, and he said, "Did the check cash?" And they said, "It didn't cash yet." And that's when he got his that's when he got his ass back up. Because he did. He looked at his corner, and I swear to God, I thought I saw them lips say, "Did the check clear?" And they said, "Not yet." And that motherfucker got up. You know what I'm saying? They probably said not yet or the Wi-Fi slow or whatever the fuck they said. And he got back up and took his ass back out there.
Wow.
Hey, I'm just being honest. Listen, man, I have never in my life, and I'm just going to say this. I've never in my life. This shit was probably worse than what Malik Scott fucking did for Deontay Wilder.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably worse than what Malik Scott did for Deontay Wilder. This was bad. From the moment the bell rang, this motherfucker was in retreat. He didn't, not one time in that fight did I see Molina take a step forward. I didn't see him take a step forward not one time. The only step forward he took is to get his big ass up off the goddamn canvas. That's the only time he put a foot forward was to lift his heavy ass up. That was it. Outside of that, no, man. But this was, and I said this before, this might be one of those fights where, they want him to look good. To set up, for a mega fight with Deontay Wilder next year, 2017, or anything of that nature, because this is what it's boiling down to. That's why he has an exclusive contract with Showtime and Showtime only. And the reason why I'm worried about the Klitschko fight, and I know it's on BoxRec, but Dan Raphael tweeted that HBO and Showtime is in a bidding war.
Which is, I think, is bullshit. That is bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was myself, actually, because I'm thinking, I thought Klitschko shit had expired after the Fury fight. So
yeah, and also Wilder, not Wilder, but Joshua being exclusively signing to Showtime. That shit there ain't no bidding war over that shit.
Well, if it was a bidding war, we'd have heard about it when they first said that this fight was announced, and we just not hearing about it now. So that's some bullshit there. But, the bottom line is, like 2K said, I'm not knocking Anthony Joshua. He knocks the guys out he's supposed to knock out. You don't belong in there. He gets you out of there. But all I'm saying is this dude, Tyson Fury didn't just fuck the game up. The Tyson Fury beat Klitschko, lost his fucking mind. Now we got a whole bunch of motherfuckers holding titles. They shouldn't be holding fucking titles. And that's just the legit of how I feel. We got motherfuckers holding titles that shouldn't be holding titles. Charles Martin never should have been an opportunity to win a goddamn title. What the fuck did he do? Joshua Parker never should be an opportunity to hold a fucking title. What the fuck did he do? Yeah. And the motherfucker that should be holding the title, Luis Ortiz, is on the sideline waiting for the WBA to get their shit together. So Tyson Fury, I'm pissed at. I'm happy in the way he won, but I'm pissed at him because now we got a fucking circus show in the heavyweight division with all these motherfuckers in these titles.
I just want to let y'all know, Bo only mentioned Luis Ortiz because he's of Cuban descent.
Oh, hey, hold on. I thought Bo ain't Cuban no more. He's on Viva La America.
I forgot. Yeah, that shit got me.
That shit on nationally recorded shit, I'm going to hunt down each one of you niggas.
Over there talking about the great Fidel Castro, the way he did.
The great who? The great who? Esto loco la puta la coña de mierda. The great who? You lost your fucking mind.
You see what I'm saying? They gonna revoke his shit, man.
But, they can revoke my shit because you call it
no more
Cuban
cigars. None of that.
Oh no, fuck that shit, hey. Fuck that. I pay the fine. I need my cigar.
Wow.
I pay the fine, motherfucker. I pay the fine.
All right, we have some other good fights, a couple of great fights on that card, actually, man, that didn't get too much shine. I'm kind of thinking, I guess I'll go with the other heavyweight fight that was on the card that possibly, if this in the UK, you could say it's the fight of the year over there, possibly for just the year period. It was a straight-out war between Derek Chisora and Dillian White. Man, I'm going to go ahead to the 2K again. What'd you take away from the fight? Man, Chisora was really impressive in this fight. This is the most impressed I've been with him in years. Like, he hasn't looked this good in a long time, man.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that, man. Like, it was an excellent fight. Chisora, he said something before the fight. He said, man, if he loses, this is probably his last chance at being a world title contender. So to be a fight that he needs to absolutely win. And, you know, a lot of motherfuckers are like, yeah, nigga, you just like Hank Lundy. You got to go out there and get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Including myself. You know what I'm saying? But he actually went out there and did he exhibited exactly how he said he felt. And he went out there and he brought the fight to fucking Dillian White. And, you know, the funny thing is this. He executed an excellent game plan. As I said earlier, Dillian White's balance is fucking terrible, man. That nigga look like a big-ass newborn baby, nigga, like just learning how to walk. That's how bad his fucking balance is. You know what I'm saying? So, Chisora, this nigga said, ding, 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 ran across the ring, immediately start going to the body. That's exactly what you do with a motherfucker that has great footwork to slow him down, and you do that with a motherfucker that has no footwork because you're actually going to sap his endurance and his stamina at that point in time. So this nigga goes straight to the body. He's going to the head. He's swinging wildly and shit. He's just all over Dillian White, not giving him an opportunity to use his reach and his height advantage. The problem is the nigga didn't have the conditioning to do that for 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you see him unload a combo, you know, like you see him start backing up to the ropes. I'm like, why the fuck you backing up to the ropes, man?
That's what I was gonna say. Basically, that's exactly what it looked like every round, dog. The first, and I always looked at the clock because it started to become a pattern around between a minute 40 to a minute 20. That's when you see fucking Derek Chisora stop fucking throwing punches, drop his hands, and move all the way back to the neutral corner. And you see fucking Dillian White coming forward, nigga. Most of these dumbass niggas lumbering and shit. You see Dillian White coming forward and shit. And I'm like, Chad, nigga, throw a punch, do something. Then nigga, you know, Chisora's back up against the neutral corner. Then you see Dillian White throwing it a little bit of jab. Then he'll throw the straight right hand. Chisora's too fucking tired to block it, so he's just eating them and shit. I mean, man, this fight was it was excellent and it was funny and it was suspenseful at the same time, man. Because the first minute and a half of every single round, I was telling my wife, I was like, man, Dillian White about to get knocked out. And then that minute and a half will pass, and then Chisora will go get real tired. I'm like, damn, nigga, Derek Chisora about to get knocked out. That shit happened every single fucking round. Every single fucking round, dog. But I scored the fight live. I had it a draw. But I wasn't mad that if either fighter won the fight, I wasn't mad. But the one thing that I will take away from this, and Twine, you said this in the last podcast, so did Bo. Bo, I've been shouting you out on every video I make on this, or if I talk about this topic, I shout out what you said about Dillian White just being a younger Derek Chisora, okay? And then Twine, you mentioned that Dillian White will be no better than a BBB, UP-C, or a Commonwealth type of champion. That's exactly what we've seen in this fight. There's no fucking way on God's green earth, Dillian White or Derek Chisora beat any of the elite heavyweights. No way. No fucking way.
All right. Any of the other panelists want to join in on that topic? Anything y'all take away from the fight you want to talk about? It was a pretty entertaining fight, man, as 2K said, man, all the way through and through. To see those two big motherfuckers go 12 rounds, those two big motherfuckers, man. Wow.
The highlight of the fight. Yeah, but the highlight of the fight was Dillian White giving Chisora some head. Did y'all see that? But but man, look, let me tell you something, man. This is the reason why you had to have an undercard like that, because the undercard was actually better than the main event. Like I couldn't see the people paying what they paid for a pay-per-view for that main event. It had to be for that undercard, and it lived up to the hype. It lived up to the hype. But like I'm with 2K. Neither one of these dudes is gonna go beyond what they like. Dillian White ain't gonna Dillian White is gonna be a great UK fighter. That's probably about it.
BBB,
he's gonna champ. Yep. He's gonna be the heavyweight version of Chris Eubanks Jr. Watch.
Oh shit.
We gonna dive into that a little bit later. We gonna touch on him in a brief one. Yeah. Throwing shots.
Hey yo, rest in peace that table, dog.
We're gonna take it to the probably another card, a fight on that card that should have been taken notice of. Man, we had the rising of probably somebody that's gonna do damage in the 115 division. My first time seeing the cat myself, Cal Yafai. Louis Conception, the veteran. Man, when you talk about a good-ass fight, you talk about an up-and-comer nobody knew about that just changed a lot of shit in boxing overnight. Cal Yafai from the UK, big up to him on his win. He was dominant against the veteran. I'll pass it on to 2K again. You one of the guys that know about the lower weight divisions. I'm a big fan of Concepcion, and I didn't, not seeing Yafai before, I thought Concepcion was going to win this fight. What'd you take away from it, man? Especially about the young gun, man. What'd you take away from it?
Yeah, man. I've seen Cal Yafai fight before, and I got to say, given his style, I didn't think the pressure of I didn't think he could get away from the pressure of Louis Concepcion, man, just based on what I had seen prior. But this was the other fight that I got wrong. But this motherfucking fight was off the record, so I don't count this shit, nigga. Fuck that. I ain't counting that shit on my channel, but you know what I'm saying? But I had Concepcion, I believe, by UD, and it was the complete opposite. It was the complete opposite. Yafai won every single fucking round almost. I think I gave Concepcion 2 rounds. But I seen one of the judges give Yafai a scorecard of 120 to 108. You know what I'm saying? So, dude is an excellent boxer. He's smart. He knew this reminded me of, guys. This reminded me of Kell Brook versus Sean Porter. That's what this shit reminded me of. And the reason why I say that is because going into this fight, Kell Brook and Sean Porter, we were all like, man, Kell Brook's good, but he got too wide of a stance. He doesn't move a lot. Sean Porter got that pressure that's going to fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to be able to get away from that. Same thing with Cal Yafai, man. If you watch his other fights, he doesn't really have, excellent movement. He's a mover, but it's not excellent. He did have a good jab, but it wasn't the kind of jab where you would think he would keep a guy like Louis Concepcion at bay. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker utilized every tool in his arsenal to be the better man, just like Kell Brook did against Sean Porter, and he did it beautifully, man. Big ups to Cal Yafai. I think he's now the 115 WBA champion. Yo, that's gonna be a motherfucking problem right there. He's got he's long, he's rangy. He's going to be
matches up with everybody else in that division so well, man. And I'm like, man, he just matches up. He matches up so well against everybody. He's tall, rangy. That left hook he was displaying, man, key factor in the fight. The left hook, he utilized that shit excellently to the body, to the head, and he seemed to land it at will on Conception all fight.
And that's the same shit that Kell Brook was doing to Sean Porter. That left fucking hook, man. Exactly. Excellent fighter.
Bo Bernard, did either you two catch that fight?
No, I didn't catch that one.
I caught some of that fight, man, and it was one of them fights because I heard somebody talk about it on they said congratulations to, and they said his name, and I was like, who is that? They said he just beat Conception. I said, Conception lost? What? And I had to go check it out, and I mean, what can you say? This is why we love boxing, because you get surprises like this, and this is why we love the sport. This dude came out of nowhere, man, and like 2K said, he gonna be a problem. I'm looking at this dude, and I'm thinking to myself the whole fight, Roman Gonzalez is in trouble. Estrada is in trouble. This dude is gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a problem, man. He's gonna be a problem, man. This dude, he matches up too well against the rest of the division. Like I said, he reminded me of a cat like a Noe, like, you know, a cat that's, you know, that you be like, yo, man, he don't fight like when, you know, he don't fight when you think he should fight. Yeah, exactly. You know, I was gonna say the same thing. Like I didn't envision him being a UK fighter, basically, from what I saw. You know,
man.
High IQ, and this was his first big fight. This was like his first big fight at that, man. And to come in there and do something like that against a veteran like Conception, multi-division champion, dude's on to something. We've seen the guy blossom overnight. I'll be honest with you. I can see this guy getting overlooked because of that performance. Real talk.
Absolutely.
I can see motherfuckers not wanting to take that fight with him because of this right here.
Absolutely. 100% agree. He's a WBA champion too, so the WBA is known for the fuckery. He'll probably fight, you know, a bunch of whack ass niggas for title defenses and shit. Not because of him, but just because of the organization he's a title holder in. So, I can see him getting ducked easily.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be anxious to get in the ring with him. He's going to be one of them high-risk, low-reward guys, you know what I'm saying? And it's sorry to say, but, you know, Eddie Hearn going to have to pull some strings to get him, you know, Roman Gonzalez or Estrada, you know what I'm saying, especially over there in the UK. It's going to take a whole lot of shit to happen, especially with the 115 division, because everything is normally in other, you know, they're not prominently over in the UK. So we'll go ahead and go into the last review of the weekend, man. Another heavyweight title for the vacant WBO, I believe. Joseph Parker took on Andy Ruiz. Man, a lot was revealed in this fight to me. I'm going to go ahead and let 2K start off with it, though. What did you take of this fight? So pretty much hit it on the nail earlier when he said we got guys becoming champions that don't deserve it, and it was obvious watching this fight to me. So go ahead, 2K.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Bo, and obviously so does Tyson Fury, because that's exactly what he said in the aftermath of this fight. He said, since I vacated titles, a whole bunch of motherfuckers that shouldn't be champions are becoming champions, and I agree with Tyson Fury 100%, man. I said this in my video prior to this fight, man. I asked Seth, my co-host, I said, yo, do you think Joseph Parker is being rushed? And he said, oh, absolutely. He said, Joseph Parker should not be fighting for a vacant title right now in his career. In my opinion, man, and a lot of I remember when I said this, you know, them dumb motherfuckers popped out. Hey, God damn it, 2K, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I said Joseph Parker lost to Carlos Takam. I said that shit on wax, posted the video. The motherfuckers came out. They niggas is mad as fuck, blew gaskets. You know what I'm saying? If you go back and look at that fight, Carlos Takam exposed what we saw against Andy Ruiz already. He already showed this. He showed Anthony Parker has no inside game. He showed Joseph Parker. Fuck. He showed Joseph Parker has no inside game. He showed Joseph Parker gasses too much or gasses late in the fight. He showed that Joseph Parker likes to back up, and when he backs up, he drops his hand so he could be hit while he's on his back foot.
Yeah,
he showed that if you put Joseph Parker back up against the ropes, you could do excellent body work on this motherfucker. He has no defense. He showed all that. So when I'm watching Andy Ruiz do this shit to him, I'm like, oh, I already seen this. I already know. And then at the top, on top of that, I was like, Andy Ruiz still ain't gonna win this fight. It's in New Zealand. Joseph Parker's the more popular guy. He's the guy that they want to be, you know, one. They want to put him up there with the rest of the elite heavyweights, no matter what it takes. You know what I'm saying? Even though we have neutral judges at this fight, they're still gonna vote for the New Zealand guy. You know what I'm saying? Andy Ruiz fought a great fight. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Just to touch on that, a lot of people think Andy Ruiz won that fight. I actually saw it in the aftermath because, you know, it's in New Zealand, so I had to watch it on YouTube after. The guy that was actually recording was pretty much saying, you know, Ruiz was faking the fight, in his opinion. Me looking at the fight, I thought Ruiz was very effective, especially early on. In the second half of the fight, he didn't press as much, so that might have been some controversy there. But, you know, go ahead.
That's exactly why I had Joseph Parker winning. But I have no problem with Andy Ruiz winning this fight. And I've actually told people, I was like, shit, Andy Ruiz probably might have won this fight in reality. You know what I'm saying? But Parker did a little bit more in spots where I expected Andy Ruiz to exploit him better. Parker did a little bit more. So I watched the fight live, nigga. I was up at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. I haven't watched it again since. So I plan on watching it again with a more clear view. But I trust my motherfucking instinct and what I'm watching the first time around anyway. And I had Joseph Parker winning, man, but it could have gone either way.
All right. With that said, 2K did point out Joseph Parker gassing in the fight. He came in his highest weight ever in the most important fight of his career. He came in at his highest weight ever. So that just leads you to believe, you know, leads you to think some other things about him as far as how hard is he working, you know, what's going on here. I don't know if it's because it was an opponent like Andy Ruiz, who's known for coming in overweight. He didn't think he had to prepare as much. I don't know. Did you get a chance to check out this one?
Yeah, man, I saw this fight, man. Man. Let me, you know, again, Tyson Fury had me pissed off watching this whole fight. He had me so goddamn mad, man. Tyson Fury, on the most potent cocaine in the world, could have whooped the shit.
Easy work. Easy work.
Matter of fact, he probably would have gave it to Andy Ruiz too. But
easy work.
The bottom line was, outside of something I noticed about Joseph Parker, if you can get past the first 2 rounds and he start gas, he ain't got no pop on his punches. None.
Nope.
None.
Yeah,
even the speed on his punches goes away. You know, pretty fast. None at all. Period. I mean, and I know we shouldn't talk like this, but if you stood Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder right next to fucking Joseph Parker, do that motherfucker look like a heavyweight champion to you? I'm looking at him and I'm like, is this what has become of the heavyweight championship reign nowadays?
Let me say this real quick, bro. He looks better than Ruslan Shagayev and fucking Fresno Kendo. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, bro. My bad. I didn't mean to say that.
I can only imagine the look on Bo's face right now after that one.
Oh, shit.
You see, it went silent on us.
Hell yeah.
In Fans Okendo's defense, he's 42 years old.
Hey,
Joseph Parker barely, if Joseph Parker being a young champion barely looks better than Perez Oquendo, then again, that is the problem with the heavyweight. Fuck you, you light-skinned motherfucker. Let me tell you something, man. You make my ass hurt, man. God damn.
No homo. No homo.
No, man. This fight, and it's funny how we thought the WBO title was going to be on the line for the Klitschko-Joshua fight the first time. And for some odd reason, it went over to, for him to fight Joseph Parker. But Andy Ruiz was behind the 8-ball, like you said, the whole fight. The only way he was going to win that fight was by knocking Joseph Parker out. But, I mean, dude, like, it's sad, but it is what it is. But Joseph Parker, if I'm like Big Baby Miller or one of these other dudes trying to win the title, that's who I'm targeting. I'm targeting Joseph Parker.
He's definitely the wink right now as far as titleists. Very inexperienced. Competition wise, before people thought he'd give Anthony Joshua his first L. Hell no. Hell no.
No, boy, get knocked the fuck out.
Right about now, I think he's gonna feel you might get that motherfucker to business.
You know what? Did you catch this one yourself? Did you catch this one, Bernard?
I was catching a little bit before we got on the show.
Okay, I know you had said you had just watched the first couple. The first couple of rounds.
What I caught was Ruiz was. I don't know. Joseph Parker was just what 2K said. Parker was moving back. It was like he was trying to box him, but Ruiz was catching him with a lot of shots. No, I don't think Joseph Parker should even hold that belt personally. Bo was right on that part. I don't see Parker wanting to fight with Deontay Wilder a unification bout. Man.
Oh yeah, that was actually good. Bernard. That was actually mentioned earlier. There was just news brought out today that Joseph Parker's team, and he was actually signed with Top Rank prior to the start of this fight. I don't know if anybody caught that. He signed with Top Rank like the day before.
I want to speak on that.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back to you, Bernard. I'm just put it out there for everybody.
Okay.
Joseph Parker signed with Top Rank pretty much the day before the fight occurred against Ruiz. There's been talks reported today
that's why he got the WBO title then.
Yeah, that's why I was going to say that.
Exactly.
It's been also been said today that Parker's team is reaching out to Deontay Wilder team. And, so go ahead and touch on that, Bernard.
I mean, pretty much, if he signed with Top Rank, what does Top Rank get out of? The WBO belt. So, I mean, it's not to say that it's going to be a possible Deontay Wilder Parker unification bout with the WC or WBO. I don't. With what Al Heyman is doing right now and Bob Arum actually trying to work together, I can see it, but I will question it because I don't think.
I don't think Bob wants to give it.
I don't think Bob Arum wants to throw his heavyweight in there yet.
Yeah. It wouldn't be wise of him to do that, actually.
At all.
Yeah. So with that said, we're gonna move on to one of the fights coming up this week. It's actually early in the morning in Thailand. So we got to get on this one now. We got the guy on as well. 105 division minimum weight. We got a CP knockout Freshmart taking on Shin Ono. So defend his title, man. I know these guys don't get a lot of shine, so you might not know who CP Freshmart CP knockout is. So we're going to give y'all a brief introduction. 2K, I'm going to let you get on this one, man.
All right, so this is for the WBA 105-pound minimum weight title. Knockout CP Freshmart is the number 2 ranked 105-pound fighter. He's 13-0 with 6 knockouts. He's a fairly new fighter, much like a lot of the other smaller guys out there. who's become a champion. The guy he's fighting, his name is Shin Ono. I'm going to just say this, man. Dude got 7 losses. He only got 19 wins. In his 19 wins, he has 3 knockouts, and he has 3 draws on his record. In his last 5 fights, he's 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. His last 2 fights at minimum weight, he's 0-1 and 1 draw. You know what I'm saying? So this fight is fuckery. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
mainly,
I'm going to let you speak on that as well. You actually did a segment with Malachi, one of our boys from Danger Zone, about this as far as competition. And,
right.
You know, pretty much has been going on since he's won the title. So go ahead and elaborate on that for us as well.
Well, the thing is, the fight is fuckery because the actual promoter of Knockout CP Freshmart, who is also the promoter of Wanhang Minyotin, who is the number 1 ranked fighter at 105 pounds, and he's also coming in on that 50-0 record. He's 40-0 right now with 17 knockouts. That promoter promotes both those guys and keeps them in Thailand and pretty much has them fighting guys that they already know it can beat. Now, CP Freshmart has fought better competition in 13 fights than Minyotin has in 40 fights, okay? Freshmart just beat Byron Rojas, who had just beat Hecky Butler, who Hecky Butler at one time was the best minimum weight out there. He was number 1 for a long time. And Byron Rojas beat him. Rojas right now is ranked number 3. So CP beat him. But Minyotin has yet to fight really anybody great anybody that's probably as great as Byron Rojas is now. So the thing is, man, it's like this actual promoter, he has the kind of clout with his fighters, these 2 guys, that Andre Ryabinsky has whenever he's doing purse bids for Russia. If a purse bid goes between Andre Ryabinsky and any motherfucker out there, Ryabinsky's going to win that shit automatically, and the fight's going to be in Russia. Okay, perfect example, Deontay Wilder versus Alexander Povetkin. All right? So that's the kind of clout that this Thai promoter has, and he's making it to where he will never put Minyotin and Freshmart in the same ring together. So we may have some title hoarding happening at 105. So this story that I'm telling y'all about this title fight, it pretty much shows that the fuckery that happens in boxing goes all the way down to the lowest division in the sport. Okay, so it'll help if we all watch everything and we speak on everything and not just the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the popular guys or the popular news. You know what I'm saying? Get everything out there. Because if we actually get this out there, then that promoter's not going to do that shit anymore. We're actually going to see, Minyotin fight somebody at 108 pounds, maybe somebody at 115. He may move up because he's understanding that the fans are not actually allowing the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? So I got Freshmart going to knock this nigga out. If he don't knock him out, Freshmart he's a paper champion, basically. If you don't knock this motherfucker out within 5 rounds, man.
We got that one out the way, and I want to point out something interesting. If you look at the minimum weight rankings, these guys are nowhere near each other in the rankings. So makes you think about the whole manipulation thing in the rankings that with the organizations I was talking about a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Shin Ono is ranked number 14 in the WBA, number 14. So that's 13 other guys that, CP Freshmart could have been matched up with, and that didn't happen.
Hello?
Yo.
Yeah, I'm on here. Twan?
Twan had an airplane. Go past his house. John had an airplane go past his house. Well, you got to realize Twan still live at home with his mama. So she probably like, yo, you want my electricity bill again?
Yeah. Wow, you just gonna do this little man.
Hey, man, the man talking about me washing dishes. But,
hey, speaking of that situation, did you throw the chicken out?
So we finna go on into the next.
Yeah, let me do it. Let me do it, Bo, because I got it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the next topic, man, until he gets back in there. Announced in February, man, we got Sammy Vazquez Jr., who just lost to Felix Diaz Jr. Recently in his last fight. He's coming back in February against Louis Collazo. If you guys don't remember who Louis Collazo is, he's the first guy to show that Keith Thurman got a weak-ass powder puff body. All right?
I remember that.
Hell yeah. I'm going to go to my man Bernard, man. What you think about this fight, man?
It's two southpaws going against each other. I love the matchup. Both of them need to win. Really, Sammy Vazquez needs to win because he lost to Felix Diaz, because he is a prospect. I will still consider him a top prospect within the welterweight division. As for Collazo, he's pretty much right now at the gatekeeper status. So at this point, this is a good fight. We know Collazo can bang. So it depends on what Collazo we get in this fight. So if we just get the Collazo that showed up to Amir Khan for a payday fight, we know he's getting paid. He ain't going to try to fight. But if Collazo really so desperately, I'm not going to say, I just say he may not get a title, but if he so desperately want to try to make a last run, he'll bring that fight. But I could see, I'm going to call it my prediction, Sammy Vazquez, late round stoppage on Luis Collazo.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, man. Just given the fact that how bad he looked against Amir Khan. I mean, he looked good against Victor Ortiz, but then he turned around and laid a motherfucking egg against Amir Khan. Now, Sammy Vazquez has more of a style that resembles Victor Ortiz more than it would resemble Amir Khan. So, Bo, do you think Sammy Vazquez is in trouble, especially coming off of his first defeat of his career?
Yeah, there's a possibility he is in trouble, because if this is every other time a fighter loses, you give him a fight, what we call a confidence fight. And if this is a confidence fight, this could backfire, because Collazo, I mean, every time we think he's a dead horse, he shows us something. So you can't necessarily count him out. Collazo knows he's being used as meat. He's being used as a poor mark, and he knows that. So, I mean, like Bernard said, it depends on what Collazo shows up. If Collazo shows up thinking this is my last chance, I got to make a stand, well, Sammy Vazquez could be in trouble. And I hate to say this, but I mean, I like Sammy Vazquez, but the one thing Felix Diaz showed us about him is, if you apply the right amount of pressure constantly, he semi-folds.
You can punk him in the ring. You can punk him in the ring, guys. We've seen Collazo do this with some fighters. Ortiz. We've seen him get to Thurman. He just has to do it for 12 rounds against Vazquez, because you got to make Vazquez quit the way Diaz did.
Right, and that's why this could be a fight that backfire if this is a confidence building fight. They should have went, especially because I need to know where his mental state of mind was, because he didn't look right after the Felix Diaz fight. He looked like
hell no.
He did not look right after that. I mean, Felix, think about this. He had been back in the ring since that ass whooping. He had been back in the ring since that ass whooping. So mentally, that tells me something about you mentally when you need that much time off from getting your ass whooped. I mean, So it's going to be something to see.
Well, it is under the PBC now. There's a lot of fighters that hasn't been in the ring lately.
No, hold on. But the upper echelon dudes don't get in the ring like that. But the lower dudes normally fight a lot. Like Omar Figueroa and Ketch. The lower cats normally do fight a lot. Okay,
what
PBC do with them?
I feel what Bo is saying, because think about this. Sammy Vazquez was completely outclassed by Felix Diaz, right? Yeah. Think about this. What if fucking Amir Imam next fight was against somebody like Hank Lundy? You feel what I'm saying? It would be a very dangerous fight. And actually, Amir Imam has fought, I think, twice after getting stretched, by Adrian Granados. And one of them niggas was like 16 and 19. So that's kind of the type of fights that we would expect a guy like Sammy Vazquez to be fighting, especially since he was a highly touted prospect, and not necessarily jump in the ring with a dangerous-ass veteran like Louis Collazo, but more props to him that he's actually doing it. But it's a very dangerous fight, man, because this right here is going to say whether or not that ass beating that Felix Diaz gave him, did that really destroy his mindset? You know what I'm saying? So we got Twan back on the line, man. Twan, man, go ahead, fam.
All right, good looking fellas. I had a little bit of my big ass ears, man. As simple as that. Hung up on the call. So yeah, I'm back, man. You guys just covered the Sammy Vazquez Luis Collazo announcement. Like you mentioned, fighting in February. We're gonna go into some other topics, some fuckery at that. Man, we just had Miguel Cotto versus James Kirkland announced for Texas to be held in Texas at the Dallas Cowboys practice facility. Practice.
Hey, I know exactly. Hey, Twan, hold up, fam. I know exactly where that's at too, dog. That's like 20 minutes away from me, fam. Up north.
I mean, but 2K. We talking about practice? Practice. All I'm gonna say is I give my time to the flow to my boy Mr. Fuckery.
Hell yeah. Where you at?
This all you right here, man. This is all you right here.
Mr. Fuckery doesn't condone the fuckery. I don't condone this bullshit right here. Now, for the casuals, let me say this. I know y'all probably like, yo, this Miguel Cotto, this is his last fight, you know what I'm saying, on his contract. But, and he thinks James Kirkland. Hey, let me tell you something. Both of them punk-ass motherfuckers lost to Canelo.
Yeah.
Both of them need to redeem. Well, if Cotto's out, go on take his last ride. As for Kirkland, hey, he might need that money for the child support. I don't blame him taking this fight.
Yep.
I mean, man, check this out. This is what's going on. The audacity is they had the nerve to put this on pay-per-view.
I know that shit, but I don't think fuck that
and
shit.
Then something else that I just heard earlier, or I read earlier, it's a fucking
153.
153.
Oh my, yeah, I remember. I just literally heard about that 2 hours ago.
153.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah.
I'm like, Cotto, come on, man. I lost all respect for Cotto with this, man.
Another 3 pounds. He could have fought Marquez. Marquez wanted to fight at 150.
Exactly, and if he wants to make that $10 million back from Rock Nation, he definitely needed to take that fight with Marquez, especially with it being in fucking Texas. It makes absolutely no sense anything going on with this belt. Bernard, you got anything else you want to add before I kick it on to our other panelists on this one, man? Because I know they got a lot they want to spit on this as well.
I just don't condone the fuckery, dog. I mean, I'm not condoning that shit. Now just to hear that it's a catch rate of 153. You was just the middleweight champion, and you was trying to get a rematch. And what I heard, you was trying to get a rematch against Canelo. I mean, damn. I mean, hey.
And it ain't like Cotto ain't fought at a full-fledged 154 neither. So I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense.
Yo, know what he's trying to do? He's going to drain Kirkland and go for the knockout like he did all his opponents out. So which one I'm tagging in? Bo, 2K,
anyone. Either who want to take this one, Bo, or Bernard or 2K? Man, 2K, you want to say 2K, something?
You should go to the fight. Just for the fuckery, dog.
Man.
Hey, buy you a ticket and film the fuckery, dog.
I agree. I think 2K should go to the fight and take his best friend Charles Hatley with him.
That's my co-host. That's my co-host Seth, boy. I fuck with him all the time on that shit. That nigga get mad as fuck too. Hey,
shout out to Seth for that.
Word up. I'm not going. I ain't getting this niggas no motherfucking money, dog. They're not getting no fucking. Hey, look.
You are hardcore boxing enthusiast. You want to support all things boxing.
Hey, I'm going to watch that shit on television, streaming that motherfucking nigga. They ain't getting no dollars from me, dog. Hey, check this shit out. The fucking stadium is in Frisco, Texas, man. I go out there pretty frequently to go hoop and shit whenever I play ball, right? Nigga, Frisco, that goddamn practice facility only seats 12,000. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. Because they know this shit ain't going to fucking sell. Ain't nobody going to this fucking fight, man. That's why they didn't have it at, the AT&T stadium like Canelo and Leon Smith was at. That's why they didn't have it there. You know what I'm saying? They haven't had a practice facility for a reason. But this is something that I heard prior to doing this podcast today, fellas. And it seems that people are giving a fuck to James Kirkland because this nigga's stupid enough to sign the fucking contract. Now, it's not a secret that James Kirkland spends all his fucking money. When he gets paid, he spends all his money. That's why he had child support problems. It's not secret. You know what I'm saying? I've actually seen James Kirkland multiple times when I was a bouncer at different bars on 6th Street in Austin, Texas. I've seen him multiple times out there. Okay? So it's no secret he spends all his money. But what I heard was that in the contract with Canelo, there was a stipulation in the contract that stated that James Kirkland could not train or could not have Ann Wolfe as his trainer. Now, I've heard that from multiple sources, that shit was in the contract. That's some shit I've never heard of before. But if that is true, then I'm not surprised that they allow a full-fledged 154-pounder, a guy that fought at 157 pounds within the middleweight division, the ex-middleweight champion, they allowed that guy to tell him, hey, let's do a catchweight. The catchweight was actually at 152, but then they did a little pushback. It was like, look, can we do 153? And then they were like, all right, bitch, we'll do 153, nigga. But it's still a catchweight. Come on, man. That's how stupid this nigga is, bro. I'm sorry to say it. I don't give a fuck who's listening. Dog, James Kirkland is probably one of the dumbest niggas out there, dog. You got the whole problem.
This is a guy that struggled This is a guy that struggled making 154 at that. So to accept and sign a contract out of catchweight, man, you can only imagine what's gonna happen.
Dude, you got a guy who had a problem with Golden Boy because he felt like he was. This is the only time I fight with a promoter. He felt like he was worth more than what he really was, so he decided not to fight for Golden Boy, right? Asking for ridiculous amounts of money in the very first negotiations with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Then you got a nigga that's robbing fucking stores and shit. This nigga's driving cars and shit on probation with guns on him. Come on, man. This nigga's stupid, fam. So it's not surprising to me that he commits stupid shit in negotiations for a fucking fight, man. This is going to be an easy fight. I hope Miguel Cotto knocks the nigga out, puts him in the timer. That's all I got to say. Real talk.
Bo, I know you might have an interesting perspective on this, man. What you got to say as far as this being in Texas, Miguel Cotto?
This is
Rock Nation, if you want to throw their ass under the bus with this one, do it. You know what I'm saying?
Not really, man. I'm actually proud of Rock Nation, man. This is a great fight. Rock Nation has put together a great fight. Wait a minute. Let me finish now. Listen, I'm proud of Rock Nation. They put together a great fight. They're giving us the fight we asked for. Finally, they stepped their game up, and they got a quality opponent in the ring. For Rigo. So, So, that's how I feel about that. Look, I said this earlier. This fight being in Texas was a goddamn joke when I heard it. When Cotto's fan base is in Puerto Rico. You know, you could have
New York.
New York. But I'm saying, no, his fan base is Puerto Rico. It's Puerto Rican. So you could have this fight in New York, doing a Puerto Rican Day parade, whatever. Look, Rock Nation ain't making smart moves at all. We know this. How the hell do you owe Cotto $10 million for a fight any goddamn way? It's beyond motherfucking me. I said it before. Dynamite, nitroglycerin, Oakland Bomber, the Boston Bomber, they should all get the motherfuckers together, build some shit, and blow that motherfucking building down to the goddamn ground, or at least that wing department, and get rid of that shit and start from scratch. Jay-Z should have his ass whooped for this shit right here. And that's, I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say about it, because it's a joke. I think it is. It's a joke, man. It's a joke.
I think Rock Nation needs to take the 50 Cent route and abandon boxing promotion. They are fucking
Think about this. What's even worse is HBO is talking about carrying this fight. That's the worst. You couldn't carry Postal Crawford.
Oh,
you couldn't
Jesse Vargas Pacquiao.
That's what I'm saying. You couldn't carry Jesse Vargas Pacquiao, but you gonna carry this shit?
Yep.
No, man. In 2017 too, when your budget kicks in. This is a bad sign. That's all I'm gonna say. This is not a good sign.
We've seen what they got lined up for so far for 2017. One good fight that I've seen that I'm pretty interested in that they've announced. While Showtime already got a whole bunch of shit announced, but we're gonna touch on that next. We're gonna dive into our next topic, man. After this one, we just want to say there was some news about Alejandro Gonzalez. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He fought Carl Frampton. You know, he was found dead in Mexico in a apparent home invasion. Man, sad to hear, man. Dude was he gave Carl Frampton a run for his money, knocked him down twice, and I was expecting to see him, see more from him in the future, man. Pretty big puncher, big guy for the weight, so I was expecting to see more from him at 122. Unfortunate to hear, man. So we just want to say rest in peace to him. Condolences to his family in Mexico. We're going to go into this next topic.
Hold on, I just want to make one correction. I'm hearing that Ann Wolf will be in Kirkland's corner.
She will.
So
that was for the Canelo fight he was talking about. That she was.
Yeah, that was for Canelo. That was for the Canelo fight. But actually, Ann Wolf has given interviews right after the Canelo knockout that he's back in Kirkland. That she's back in Kirkland's camp. So she's been training Kirkland for a good 5-6 months, man.
Okay, and he did balloon up over the 200 pounds prior to facing Canelo, so hopefully that's not going to be an issue with him making weight draining him for this Cotto fight that's now at a catchweight of 153. Fuckery continues, I tell you. Man. Anyways, we're going to go on to this article by Yahoo's Kevin Iole. He pretty much is going in on HBO. The article is titled HBO Turning His Back on Boxing. He pretty much goes in talking about the quality of HBO's fights recently and what they have planned for 2017 and how Showtime is pretty much stepping up their game. He also talks about pretty much this fight that was just announced between Kirkland and Cotto and all the pay-per-view shit that HBO has done recently as far as the Victor Postal unnecessary pay-per-view fights. Including Postal versus Crawford, unnecessary pay-per-view fight there. Kovalev Ward, probably unnecessary pay-per-view fight. This Cotto Kirkland card, definitely unnecessary pay-per-view fight coming up. And they haven't announced anything big for 2017, despite having their budget already set. So a lot of things in the works are, it seems like they're kind of abandoning boxing. And I'll go into detail after you guys touch on this. I'll go ahead and let Bo start on this one, man. What you think about the article?
Well, the article already touches upon it touches upon some things that we already knew about what's going on over the HBO starting off the year with 2017. But here's what the article don't touch upon is HBO, outside of them having money problems. I don't want people to think their money woes was the reason for boxing. No, it's also the reason for problem with boxing is poor mismanagement and placement of money. They put a lot of money behind some of their own series like Game of Thrones and some of them HBO series that they did. They put a lot of money behind that. When you look at the Golden Boy stable and the Top Rank stable, well, they just aren't a lot of fighters out there that HBO feel that they can push to get them to the status that they used to be. I mean, think about this, we just had Crawford fight Molina. Supposedly they got 800,000 people to watch it on HBO, okay? And I always question how that shit works because, again, you could be watching another channel, and I've always questioned how they do those ratings with that. But you get 800-something thousand people to watch Terrence Crawford, but only, 60,000 people bought his pay-per-view fight. So their whole model of how they doing with boxing, the landscape has changed. And why has it changed? Because HBO made the biggest mistake of their life, they depended solely and heavily on Manny Pacquiao, that they did not prepare themselves for Pacquiao to be gone, because what really hurt them is when Floyd left. When Floyd left, that hurt like a motherfucker. Losing when the Floyd-Manny Pacquiao fight took place, as we reported, out of, $500 million, they only got $9 million. Well, that hurts your pockets like a motherfucker. That hurts your pockets, too. Now they're scrambling, trying to find their next big pay-per-view star instead of building dudes into pay-per-view stars. They're just throwing cats out there like, give them a pay-per-view and see what happens. No, you got to build these dudes to it. And that's the mistake they're making. They're so busy trying to find it that they're not allowing these guys to be built to it, because the bottom line is technology has changed, man. Like 2K just said it. Hey, I'm going to stream this shit. And he lives right down the block from it. And 2K pretty much said he don't care if the tickets were $12. Fuck him. That's
nope.
how he feel. All right, see, exactly. Nope. Okay? So, I mean, technology has changed, man. You can watch fights right on Facebook. People stream them on Facebook. So you ain't gotta go watch your shit that you try to tell me is caviar. You ain't gotta watch it no more. I ain't gotta watch constant reruns of top-ranked fighters fighting each other. Okay, I've said before, Golden Boy is pumping out Canelo, but you got the pound-for-pound king in Roman Gonzalez. How come he ain't getting some of that Canelo treatment with him being pushed? How come Jojo Diaz ain't getting some of that Canelo treatment? Okay, same thing with Top Rank. Top Rank, like you said, Top Rank just signed. They just signed Parker. Okay, now the only place you're gonna sell Parker is over in New Zealand, because you know damn well you're not gonna be able to bring Parker over here and toss him on TV and attract people. Okay, Eddie Hearns is doing a great job. He got a market for Anthony Joshua over in the UK, and we know how UK fans are. So, I mean, HBO is, I'm not saying that their back is up against the wall, and I truly hope they ain't giving up boxing, because they still are the bigger name. Even though Showtime has put on the better fights, HBO is still the bigger name. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem, because HBO is the bigger name, and because HBO also have, and just going to make some people feel a certain kind of way, but fuck it, it is what it is. HBO also still markets the fighters that people are enthralled with fighting, which is Gennady Golovkin and Lomachenko, that Eastern European chain. So they still have those dudes, right? And Sergey Kovalev. So they still have those dudes that people want to see. So they got something to build off of. But the problem is you can't just use them to try to build, because they haven't been built to pay-per-view status just yet. And it's a process that's going to take some time that I don't think somebody over there, like it's like being on top for so long, and then when you finally number 5, you forget how to get back to number 1 again, or you struggle getting back to number 1, and that's kind of what's going on right now with them.
Any of you guys want to touch on this one? I kind of wanted to feed off, kick off of Bo's comments about them as well. 2K, Bernard, anything you guys want to add on this one?
No, go 2K. I will kick off right after y'all.
Oh, I was just gonna. I really don't have nothing to say. I was just gonna say. I was gonna tell Twine to go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and make my exit. But with that said, me personally, man, I really don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? As long as we're getting the type of fight that we want to see, I don't care who fucking airs it. But real shit. The whole financial situation with HBO, and HBO getting ready to pretty much get rid of boxing on the network. This has been something that's been written in stone for over a year now. I mean, you can see the rapid decline of HBO, man, if you're really paying attention. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I really don't pay too much or put too much energy in this shit. Just as long as I'm able to see the fights that I want to see, I really don't care who airs it, man.
All right, Bernard?
No, I was going to basically say I think you could tell there's a change, because if you look at it, there's been a lot of controversies and everything going on lately with HBO, as we talked about on our channel with Iole and Adrian. If you notice, they're like Bo just recently said, they're pushing European fighters. And I'm pretty much right now, with this whole situation with the Kovalev war, I know that we talked about it with that robbery and everything, that alleged robbery they used to bring up. That situation right now is with HBO. They're trying to still keep their fans, the casual fan base, but apparently it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be. It's gonna work only with the Gennady Golovkins and Lomachenko, so they're doing what the people want, which is the knockouts. But I think HBO has to realize they may have to work with the person that got also the fight as well, which is Al Heyman. They probably just concede and take a page from Showtime's book and not only that, hold accountable the promoters that are on their channel, the main event, Golden Boy and Todd Wayne, to get them to make the fights if they want to, stay in boxing. But if they want to abandon it, then they shouldn't go on and do it. It's like a sinking ship, but it's really sinking real slow. So
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and put another angle on this one, man, and it's pretty sad, But let's say this, though. We don't want it to end. I want everybody to understand that. We don't want it to end. I'm going to say this is basically a numbers game, man, and I'm like, this is where it's going to be sad, and I'm going to also touch in on this on the final blow a little bit. Pretty much what it is, HBO is in double the household to Showtime. With that said, Bo mentioned the card this weekend, how Crawford managed to pull in 800 views. No disrespect to Crawford because he's one of my favorite fighters, definitely top 5 pound for pound. But the Molina fight was bullshit. That card got more views than the excellent card that was on Showtime. Showtime peaked at about 377,000. That was its peak. So you see it's the numbers game there. Double the households. You're always going to win no matter what you put on. So they're basically HBO is playing this shit to their advantage right now. They know they could put out anything, and this is kind of symbolic of that. Kind of, and also showing that Terrence Crawford is probably becoming a household name, even though he only did 60K pay-per-view. So it depends on it kind of depends on how you interpret it, man. But it kind of seems like HBO is playing this number games and using it as a stranglehold on boxing and its fans, man. But I'm gonna go into even more detail on that later. But with that double the numbers, you got this effect. The good cards aren't being seen by fans, and it makes it look like it's a real casual basis out there. A lot of people subscribe to HBO for the shows, as not as much broadcast on Showtime. So it's pretty much a game of numbers. It's manipulation right now on HBO. I kind of feel like they've lied to us after what I've read previously about them wanting to make nothing but the best matchups. It might be indicative of some of the things that have happened as far as Canelo getting injured in December, even though that wasn't going to be a big fight no way. So, I mean, it's just a lot to take in, man, but it definitely seems like HBO is playing us for fools, and, they're especially with all these damn unnecessary pay-per-views, man. So, yeah, that's just pretty much my take on that, and I'll dive more into it afterwards. We're going to get into our preview section for our upcoming fights for this weekend on Saturday. We got a couple of good ones, man, actually. We got another Cuban on fighting this weekend, light heavyweight contender Sullivan Barrera. He's facing another top prospect. You got to love these kind of fights. At 175, Vyacheslav Shabranskyy. They'll be fighting on Saturday in California. I'm going to go ahead and pass this on to Bo. What do you think about this fight? And as far as prediction, how do you see this fight playing out?
Man, I said this last time I heard this fight. I'm going to say it again, man. This could probably be a turning point fight for Sullivan Barrera. And the reason being is this. Sullivan Barrera fights similar to Eunice Gonzalez fought.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Barrera may be just a little bit more I'm going to say Sullivan Barrera maybe just a little bit better moving, throw his punches just a little bit straighter because Gonzalez throw looping wide punches and Shabranskyy was able to get up underneath him. But as far as being a boxer, even though, listen, he's from the Cuban school of boxing, but again, I tell everybody this, Sullivan Barrera was never considered good enough to be part of the Cuban national team that competes for the Olympics. Okay? So he wasn't considered good enough because his style was a professional style. So he didn't have that Cuban pedigree of boxing style that he had. And Shabranskyy is just a straight, pure boxer. And what do we say? Anytime you get a boxer versus a puncher, you favor the boxer. Shabranskyy throws jabs. Shabranskyy moves. Only thing about Shabranskyy is he stays upright. He doesn't protect his chin by keeping it tucked behind the shoulders. And Barrera is a big puncher, but we saw, and I'm not saying Shabranskyy is Andre Ward, but we saw an Andre Ward that was able to box and frustrate Sullivan Barrera also. So that shows me Barrera can be frustrated. Now, he's not with Abel Sanchez no more. He's down with he's down in Miami right now with all of them down there. He's down there with Rance Bartholomew, Mundo Boxing Gym. So he's down there with them right now. So it's going to be good to see what kind of change that has been able to do with him. He seems to have a role of confidence. But I could see Shabranskyy winning this fight. I'm just being honest with you, man. I could see Shabranskyy winning this fight because, you know, I haven't seen enough about of Sullivan Barrera to tell me, because the problem with a way a fighter fights, he starts out fighting like Martinez used to box, decided to brawl, and Garcia turned him back into something he already was. Okay, Barrera was never a boxer. So I don't know how you can turn someone that was never really a boxer into that. And that's what's going to be an uphill battle for him. So I can see Shabranskyy winning this fight, man.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Bernard. You familiar? I know you're familiar with Barrera.
Yeah,
Shabranskyy. Okay.
Shabranskyy is the like you say, he beat Usyk Gonzalez. I agree with my counterpart over here, my partner, to an extent. I'm gonna sit here and say that I'm going to pick Barrera in this fight, and it's not me going opposite on purpose, but I'm gonna say something that I think once you get, if he hasn't fought since March of this year against Andre Ward. So after he lost, he apparently left and went and got a new trainer and fought. Is fighting at the Mundo Gym. We understanding that this fight is a turning point. I don't think he's gonna come in there looking to brawl. I think we're gonna see a chess match, and I believe he's gonna come out on top on it. Based on it, but I'm not. I do. Was you saying that? How do you turn a punch into a boxer? The example I want to give, but probably not the best example, is look at the Marcos Maidana 1 and look at Marcos against Mayweather and look at Marcos Maidana 2. Marcos Maidana versus Mayweather 2. In the second one, Robert Garcia's father got Maidana try to box for it, which was not probably the best thing to do, but there was an improvement in something, and that was his timing of his shots. So what I will sit there and say is it depends on what aspect of improvements have improved in Sullivan. Barrera, we won't know yet till Saturday to see what he has improved in his arsenal, what adjustment he had made, but hopefully we can see him, we can tell and critique it. But I will say I'm going to pick Barrera with this one because if he's pretty much he don't want to be known as a journeyman or as anything. He'll just be a contender within that division that's going on right now. So I'm picking Sullivan Barrera.
All right. I'm actually going to agree with your co-host Bo on this one, man.
That's cool.
I think Shabranskyy just has a lot more to offer. He's a lot more busier in the ring, and I think he's going to catch Barrera looking a lot more than anything, as Andre Ward did. You know, he's going to be so hesitant. Shabranskyy, he's a big-ass dude for 175. You know, he's 6'3". I don't know if that's something you guys think. He's probably one of the taller guys in that division, and he moves excellently with that size to be that tall. As Bo said, he stands upright, not a lot of upper body movement as much as he should use. But he knows how to let his hand. He's real good at selecting his shots. Excellent jab. He likes to box from the outside and keep you on the end of his punches, but he can come inside. Against Gonzalez, I seen him do a feint and then just come in and hop in with the lead right. so he does take his chances when he sees them. He's willing to exchange. Would like to see him with a better defense. So it's possible we could see Barrera counter him a couple times, but he looked like he has Shabranskyy looks like he has a pretty sturdy chin. Gonzalez hit him a couple of times and didn't really hurt him too much in that fight and caught him with some good shots. So I'm expecting Shabranskyy to win by unanimous decision in this one. I'm kind of questioning his power because he hit Gonzalez with everything but the kitchen sink in their fight, and he couldn't put him out. So,
you know what? I didn't make a pick, and I'm gonna make. I didn't make a pick. I don't want to leave without making a pick. I'm gonna go with the home team. That's just. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about Cuban fighters that I like so much. I have no clue as to what that is. But,
I thought you pushed Shabranskyy. I thought you made
I said I could see him winning. I could see him winning. But no, I'm going to go with the home team, man. I'm going to go with Sullivan Barrera because this is a crossroad fight for him, like Bernard said. If he loses this fight, this could probably be it for him. We were going to hear from him. Then on top of that, I think he's extra motivated to win because he wants to show everybody that he probably was with the wrong trainer. Because remember, he actually said he felt Abel Sanchez wasn't teaching him anything. So
you know what? Yeah. I want to say this. Let's look at it. I want to use this situation. Look at what happened when Morris got with Robert Garcia. There was an improvement and a change in that. That's what I'm basically saying would possibly could happen.
He's down in Miami. He's down in Miami with other Cuban guys, so he feels comfortable because he's with guys he was in the amateur ranks with.
He fed him to the Wolves, to the Lions.
Exactly.
So that Triple G thing. Yeah, so what were you going to say again, Twan?
I was pretty much done on that one, man. I made my pick with Shabranskyy. I like his activity to beat Barrera in this one. I think Barrera can catch him. Like he's open to be hit and countered. I just don't know if I think Shabranskyy has a sturdy enough chin to where he's not going to be hurt. So yeah, I definitely think Shabranskyy got this one. But I could be surprised, man. We don't know what Barrera's been picking up since he's been down in Florida. Like you said, he probably wasn't as comfortable with Abel Sanchez. I know when I saw him training for the Andre Ward fight, I saw Triple G working with him on a lot of things as far as inside fighting, as opposed to Abel Sanchez. So I'll see what kind of improvements he's made, and I won't say it would be a shock if he wins. Cuban school of boxing, you can't ever count these guys out, man. They're just that damn fundamentally sound in school. So that leads us to another fight card we got happening. We got a Bernard Hopkins farewell fight against Joe Smith. We also got the return of Oleksandr Usyk on that card, man. I wish we could have got Uncle James on tonight to really talk about that one, but I know, I know it's a lot going on with the man. But, let's start off with this Bernard Hopkins farewell fight against Joe Smith. Let me go ahead and start off with Bernard, man. You saw Joe Smith take on Andres Farfara live in Chicago when he was out there. It wasn't a long fight, so I don't know if you got a chance to really diagnose much of him.
It was a counter right hook, man. That's all I can sit there and tell you. He was on the ropes, and it was a counter right hook that knocked. He was on the ropes, and it was a counter. I mean, let's think about it though. We haven't heard anything before about Joe Smith. Now this has happened. Now I'll give credit to Bernard Hopkins for taking he always taking risks, even at his age and everything like that. I think we had this conversation probably a few episodes ago, about what would happen if Joe Smith was to knock out Bernard Hopkins. I mean, he's 50 years old, but what would it do? I'm put it like this: it's a risky. Right now. I'm gonna say this: I'm going with it as a 50-50 fight.
Wow! 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 Yeah.
Wow, yeah, they got me too. Damn. Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I probably am changing with what I'm saying. I'm saying this because let's break it down back a couple episodes. You're dealing with Bernard Hopkins, that knows all the tricks of the trade in the sport, that he's been in the sport. this and that, but he's up in age, and his speed and his agility and everything like that is not the same as it was when he was in his late 20s, early 30s. Now let's look at Joe Smith. He's a young bull coming up, beat a top contender in the light heavyweight division. By knockout, got him out of there in the first round.
Bo, I'm gonna go ahead and take it to you on this one, man. How do you see the fight happen? Well, yeah, you said you're going with Smith, right, Bernard?
You
said it's 50.
You know what?
50
I
fight.
said it's 50-50, but I think I went. If I'm correct, in probably in the previous podcast, I think I did go with Joe Smith, and I'm gonna stick with my pick.
Okay. But not, Bo, you just heard some big things from your co-partner, man, your partner on your show, Bernard, saying that it's a 50-50 fight. What you think of that, man? What do you think of this fight in general, prediction-wise, and just a farewell fight for Bernard, man? Anything you want to say about his career?
For Bernard, yeah, I think Bernard. You talking about my co-host or Bernard?
Just responding to both, man. As far as him think the 50-50 fight between the two being 50-50.
Yeah, I think he had a casual moment there for a second.
Hold on. So what are you saying?
What am I saying?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a 50-50 fight. I think it's more like maybe 70-30. I think it's a 70. Bernard. I think.
Okay.
Listen,
Okay.
Joe Smith has a puncher's chance. And I like put it like this. I was just messing around with him. I can see why my partner said it's a 50-50 fight. I can definitely see why he said that. I can definitely see why he said it because Joe Smith, he has a puncher's chance, and we really haven't seen Bernard since the Kovalev fight. And the one thing we know, which was in 2014, but the one thing we know is in the Kovalev fight that when he got hit with that first hard punch, he kind of went into retreat mode. So,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You kind of got that going. But Joe Smith isn't Kovalev, and I think Bernard Hopkins knows that. But props to Bernard for taking this fight because it's a dangerous fight. Joe Smith is a young gun. He's a hard puncher, okay? So it's definitely a dangerous fight.
But you see the thing, though. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, I mean, it's 70-30, 60-40. I don't have a problem with it.
I would call it 50-50 because you can't – Bo, I think you would know this being a fighter. You don't underestimate your opponent.
Never. You're right.
And I think that's what probably Povetkin did, got in there a little reckless and got rocked. I'm not saying Bernard Hopkins is doing that. I will probably have to look up some more video of Joe Smith boxing, but the only thing we heard about is Joe Smith that he was knocking the cats out of the gym.
Right. You sure was.
So with that being said, until we see how he is in a full fight, 12 rounds, this may be the test right here to see. But if I go through YouTube and find some more Joe Smith fights or whatever, and you know what, Swine? We'll do this. I'll look through some stuff. We'll look through some videos or whatever and try to break it down before the week is out with Joe Smith. Just strictly on Joe Smith, what he's bringing to the thing and everything like that. And then
here's the one thing you have to consider. Bernard Hopkins is 50 years old, and I say this all the time. At 50, your body never does what your mind wanted to do when your mind wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? So what he might see or might read or try to do, his body might not do it when his mind is telling him to do it. But, you know, if he beats Bernard Hopkins in like a unanimous decision, then that's the name on his resume. But if he knocks Bernard Hopkins out, that, to me, I feel propels him into the top 5 like heavyweights.
Oh yeah, because B-Hop's never been knocked out, by any or stopped by anybody. So that definitely would be impressive. I don't see it happening though. I think we gonna see classic Bernard or the veteran Bernard we've seen, with the wildly veteran tactics and just really educating in the ring and manipulating and taking things away from a fighter, and countering. I think we're gonna see that. Against Joe Smith. Joe Smith is going to come out aggressive. I think Bernard got a couple of counters in him. to keep to set Joe Smith straight.
Right.
I
agree.
We got to say, Joe Smith is not Sergey Kovalev. We don't know what he really is as far as, he did knock out Fonfara. But, we don't know much more about him other than that, and I'm interested to see, man. I got B-Hop taking this one unanimous decision. I think he's going to use veteran tactics and just take it, He's going to be able to steal rounds. We might see him stick his tongue out and do some weird things to get under Joe Smith's skin. That's just B-Hop, at this stage of his career. He knows how to force these fighters into things, that's veteran for you. That said, we're going to go into the fight on the undercard. Oleksandr Usyk is defending his, WBC or WBO? But I want to say WBO.
I think it's WBO.
Yeah. Okay, so Oleksandr Usyk defending his newly won WBO crown against Thabiso Mchunu from South Africa. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mchunu or not, either of you. I've seen a couple of his fights. Pretty decent, solid guy, man, but he's definitely not on Usyk's level. I'll go ahead and pass it on to Bo. You close to Uncle James Bashir, his trainer. What can you tell us about this fight, man?
I'm going to tell y'all what I know about this fight. Then off there, I can tell y'all a whole lot of other stuff. But this guy Usyk is fighting is a difficult guy to look good against. He is. He's a hard guy to look good against. So, if you wanted to showcase Usyk's talent, I don't think, on especially for the first time making a debut, this probably wasn't the guy you wanted to do it with, because it's really hard to look good against this guy. Now, if he does go in there and he looks good against this guy and gets it and really blows him away and looks impressive, that's great. I'm glad Usyk is getting this attention, because remember, Glowacki and Marco Huck was getting no love from, and that was a hell of a fight, but they wasn't getting no love.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? I'm glad to see Usyk getting it. Cruiserweight champion. Hopefully he can get the winner of hopefully he can get a unification. Like Bashir wants a unification bout with Bellew. Okay, and that's what he wants. He wants a unification bout. They kind of want
that ain't happening because of the whole David Hayes thing. So I don't know if they're gonna make Bellew drop his belt or not.
They are already talking about him going up there heavyweight. His people, his management team. They're already looking at possible heavyweight.
Well, you guys don't know he's managed by also the same manager as Vasyl Lomachenko, Igor Klimas. The Ukrainian, Eastern European thing is going right now, selling with HBO, and that they pushing it to the fullest, man. Go ahead, Bo.
Yeah, but Glowacki, you know what? When you look at Usyk, he fits that mold. Usyk is like a cruiserweight Lomachenko. I mean, he's not as tricky and crafty, but his fighting style, the in and out, the movement, the spinning you around, and all
the
that.
Angles,
the angles and all that.
Pivoting.
Yeah, he got the same pivot. So he's a cruiserweight version of Lomachenko. So big things to come for him, but the biggest concern from Uncle James is they're trying to rush him too fast. Okay, they're trying to rush him a little bit too fast. Yeah, he beat Glowacki, but let's pump the brakes here as far as him doing the heavyweight thing and all that. Let's take this cruiserweight route and see where it go and work him up that way. But this guy he's fighting is just really hard for him to look good against. But if he looks good, that just goes to tell you the greatness of it. Oh, and one more thing. I think that the training camp, they're in California right now for the training camp, and the biggest concern for Uncle James with Usyk is focus and concentration, because this fight is being on HBO, so the event is what Usyk has to deal with. Not so much as the fight, but the event of the fight on HBO. You know what I'm saying? Like the meetings, the meet and greet, the talking to the panel, the fighters, the promoting the fight. The event is what he would have to deal with. And so Uncle James will worry about his focus from dealing with that.
All right, and I'm going to just touch on the challenger a little bit, Thabiso Mchunu, South Africa. He's beat Eddie Chambers. That's probably the biggest name on his resume besides Ola Duradulo, who he beat for the NABF Cruiserweight title. Both of his defeats have come by knockout, so I'm expecting Usyk to do the same thing. He's actually a smaller guy, 5'11", smaller than Glowacki, so I'm expecting a knockout from Usyk, probably a fast one at that, man, and, you know, we'll see what happens with his career from there, man. Hopefully we could get Uncle James on after the show or on the show next week and get him to elaborate on some things, man.
I'll reach out to him.
Okay, I'll reach out to him. Good looking. We gonna do our last preview of the night for the weekend. We got a big heavyweight bout happening, the WBC title eliminator. As a result of what happened with Povetkin and Wilder's issue, Povetkin and the PED, he had to go through another eliminator, which would be going against Bermaine Stiverne in Russia. Very good fight. I'm liking it. I'm not mad at it. WBC definitely made the right decision with this one as far as making Povetkin go this route. I couldn't have picked a better opponent. I would have liked to see anyway for this title eliminator at the moment. Let me go ahead and pass it on to Bernard on this one to start off. What are your thoughts about this fight and who you have winning? Do you think it's possible for Stiverne to come back with a W in Russia against Povetkin?
Ooh. I'm going to say this. If he does it, he has to win by knockout.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trusting the judges in Russia. And the reason, and I'm going to say this situation too, this is Stiverne's first, maybe I think his first fight since losing to Deontay Wilder, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Actually, no, he's fought twice since then, I believe. He has fought twice. He's fought. I'll double check. I'm pretty sure he's fought at least once, though.
I'll check it now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually He's fought twice. Fought once since fighting Wilder, which was
how long was that?
It was last year. So he's coming off a year of inactivity, his damn self, as far as getting in the ring.
And what about Povetkin?
It's been about the same time.
Yeah, Povetkin fought the same day. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Same amount of time.
Mhm.
Okay, so they come. Okay, then so I feel like this. If it goes to the decision, I can see Povetkin winning. But Bermaine got to get him out of there. Definitely to make a statement as well that you want that belt back. So I know. Okay, what you gonna say?
Go ahead, Bernard. Finish off right now. I'll go ahead and follow up off of what you're saying.
Oh no, I was basically saying he got to go in there, make a big statement to get him back in the number one contender spot to fight Deontay Wilder. But Povetkin got to do it, huh?
Basically, I know that's something that Bermaine has been saying. He has the intentions of getting a knockout because of the situation with it being in Russia. So he definitely has the right mind frame heading into this fight.
Right, then you have Povetkin over there as well, who he feels some type of way about not getting that fight against Wilder due to the drugs, the PEDs he found in his system, or whatever the cluster of the WBC and all that, man. So he's gonna try to make a statement as well. I'm looking at this fight. I'm gonna just outright say I'm gonna give this fight a 50-50 chance. It's a 50-50 fight in my opinion. Both guys both been off for a year on the same day, so they're coming back to fight each other. Both want to get at Deontay Wilder. Both want a chance. So look for this to. It could possibly even, I would even say, in early for either one. I don't want to say the early round. I would say mid, late. Like I'm gonna say between like 9th, 10th round, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I can see that, but that's what I see the fight. So I as for a winner. I can't pick one right now for you. So.
All right, Bo, what's your thoughts on this fight? Who you going with, man? And what do you think it's going to take for Stiverne to come out with this number one title, or number one status, mandatory status?
He's going to take a knockout. That's really what it's going to take. It's going to take a knockout. Yeah, it's going to take a knockout. It's definitely going to take a knockout. Look, here's the thing that it's a 50-50 fight, but I'm not really like overly concerned with whoever wins, because if Stiverne wins, I don't know if the general public wants to steal Stiverne Deontay Wilder too.
I agree with you on that one, Bo. I agree with you.
And if Povetkin wins, all the way up into the fight, there's going to be this dark cloud of will the fight happen or will it won't happen because of the PED drug testing situation.
I disagree.
And hold on, wait a minute, let me finish. And will Wilder even trust fighting in Russia, knowing that there's a little bit of a revenge factor there? So will Wilder be willing to fight there? Because the reality is, Povetkin people love making stuff go to purse bid because they know they can outbid you. So they love making shit go to a purse bid. They can make the shit, you know what I'm saying? That's like, because I remember when it was announced for purse bid, everybody was talking about on Wilder scared. I'm like, no, check their resume. They always let shit go to purse bid because they know they can outbid you and keep the fight in Russia. So that's their MO, you know. So I just think that, I mean, it's a fight. Like if Povetkin win, there are people that are gonna want to see him be on the way to fight finally. But all the way up until the fight actually happens, people are gonna be on edge on if something funky is gonna happen with Povetkin, especially with the fight being in Russia. And then again, I wonder if in the back of their mind, because see, if it's me and I'm Deontay Wilder, and I'm knowing this is some, you guys may be on some funny stuff, and now you want me to come to Russia. If it's me, I'd pretty much be like, listen, you guys want to fight, we got to pick some type of neutral ground. Because I don't trust fighting in Russia, and y'all don't trust fighting over here. We got to pick some kind of neutral ground.
Fight in the UK.
Exactly. I mean,
you know
we
what?
got to pick some kind of neutral ground.
I want to piggyback on something. So you said that it may be a dark cloud on Povetkin. I think there's going to be a dark cloud on Deontay Wilder.
No.
Hear me out. No, hear me out. I didn't even get a chance to finish. It's not that. The dark cloud is going to come from the chasm, because the chasm is going to be wanting so bad for Povetkin to fight Wilder. So bad. They wanted that fight because they remember when the fight was about to get made, when was Povetkin go to because Wilder got Povetkin problems. You know, he's fighting everybody, but he got Povetkin problems. So when the fight was about to get made, this shit happened. But look at this: if Povetkin wins, trust and believe the casuals are going to be all over this shit.
Well, what I mean by dark cloud was there'll be a dark cloud on Povetkin for the fact that he failed a drug test. That's what I'm saying. If the fight take place, there'll still be that dark cloud. Right, there'll still be that dark cloud there. Now, as far as the casuals go, listen, I'm not trying to talk bad about them and talk down to them, but I can't worry about what they say because you got a lot of people that
I'm not worried about what you said.
Yeah, okay, because I'm just saying, because you got a lot of people that even.
All I think was the basic statement of the black. You say the black cloud over Povetkin. I'm saying the black cloud over because of how they feel about Deontay Wilder. You know, he ain't fought nobody. Well, you know people ain't gonna be going for the Bermaine Stiverne Wilder too. They're gonna want that Wilder Povetkin. That's what I'm saying. On the sense of, hey, but what the fuck can they really say if fucking Stiverne?
That's what I'm saying. That's what they
ain't got shit to
say. But my point is though, listen, even when Povetkin failed the drug test, you still had people claiming Deontay Wilder was trying to back out of a fight.
Oh, it was only .01. It was under, they were making excuses even then.
And then they was trying to say, well, he left and didn't tell. I mean, it was all kind of because I was like, the way it was funny was, he didn't want to fight. He was still in Alabama. I'm like, no, he was in the goddamn UK training. Okay, so it was 8 days left to go with the fight. The WBC pretty much, we know how it went down. So I'm not concerned with that. I'm just saying that going up into the fight, unless this fight is on some kind of neutral ground, going up into the fight, it's going to be a dark cloud over whether this fight is going to happen or not. because of some funny business that took place the first time they tried to fight.
Yeah.
You know.
So I guess I'll go ahead and follow up with you guys. This is a pretty intriguing fight with both guys coming off year layoffs. Stiverne has had one fight. He actually was knocked down in that fight and, you know, came back to win a UD. I'm not sure how either will stand up to each other's power. So that's the thing I'm looking forward to. I know Povetkin is going to try and stay on the outside and use his jab. If Stiverne gets on the inside, that's when we'll really see something effective from him. He's not going to outbox Povetkin. That's just that. Another thing with Stiverne is I'm hoping this is another situation. This isn't another situation like Wilder, to where, you know, he actually overtrained for that fight and, you know, was almost killed himself, basically.
Yeah.
You know, he was taken to the hospital post-fight, and, you know, it was revealed that he pretty much shouldn't have even been in the ring that night. You know, I forgot something I had seen from one of the other previous heavyweights. Like, I didn't see him. He overtrained.
Yeah, he was dehydrated.
Yeah.
I remember that. He was dehydrated. I talked to Stiverne. I talked to Stiverne on Ingram's show. He was dehydrated, and then he felt sick. Like that was some. That's why he's real adamant about getting back in there with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, and I actually had thought Stiverne was going to win that fight against Wilder just because of the whole chin thing. You know, I thought Stiverne was going to be able to land one of them heavy hooks, you know, that he landed against Iole in their fight. You know, I thought he was going to be able to push that issue against Wilder. And that was a fight that really showed me on Wilder is really growing as a fighter, because Stiverne had been in some decent fights. And, you know, I thought he was a pretty decent fighter, man. Like, he's susceptible to being hit, but it showed a lot of growth on the part of
He can't
Wilder
have a slow start in this fight. I know that, though. He better not start slow in this fight. He can't come out taking 2-3 rounds to get going. He got to come out and get going straight from the jump. Because Povetkin,
well, you know, like that's what I'm saying. Like, if this is the Stiverne we're seeing from Iole fight, you know, that was a guy that was throwing close to 1,000 punches in that fight. Like, he was throwing leather against Iole, heavy, high output. So I'm like, this is something we need to see him do against Povetkin. Get in, bang him.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, that's what we need to see from him in this fight. That's all I'm saying. I hope he didn't overtrain to where we had the same issues he had against Wilder, you know, the dehydration and, you know, not being able to put out what he wants to, you know, the mind thinking it, but, you know, the body just ain't there to do it, like you mentioned with B-Hop. But with that said, man, I guess that was pretty much the last review for the weekend, man. We got our U.O.E.N.O segment right now. On this day, December 13th, 1991, James Lights Out Toney defeats Mike Body Snatcher McCallum in Atlantic City to retain the IBF middleweight title. They had two good fights, man. Two very good fights. For you guys that don't know, James Toney, one of my favorite fighters. Mike McCallum, definitely one of my favorite fighters, being from the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? Body Snatcher, top 3 154 fighters ever, in my opinion. That's just what it is. Great fight. 2 classic fights between the two. Expect both to be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? So big up to both of them for giving us such a classic battles, man. I'm also on the final blow for the week. I generally don't do this because I like my co-panelists to do this one, since I'm be moderating and shit like that. I like to give them their chance to voice out other things. But I guess something I wanted to speak on tonight, kind of a combination of things, man. I guess I was on Bo's show yesterday. We did a Google chat or something? What is that you call it, Bo?
Yeah,
we did that yesterday, man, and Ingram Jones came on, our boy, our brethren from the UK, man. Big up Baylor TV, you know. We'll get in more into that after this segment, but I just want to say big up to him. Ingram Jones, he brought up something good, or a good topic, man, and just some things I want to see change, or as far as things he thought should improve and things that need to be changed, man. And it just made me think, actually, after hearing him speak, because it's not something I really had critically thought about prior to him asking and putting that out there yesterday. And, one of the things he mentioned, with me being a writer and all for Hoop Jab, he's pretty disgruntled about journalism in boxing, man, and you made some good points, man. People making a rush to be first instead of doing investigative journalism and putting out the right thing, the facts, the truths, man. And, it just made me think, man. He also said that boxing media is too crowded, man, as far as too many people involved. You got pretty much a lot of these guys with blogs and sites now piggybacking off the mainstream writers who, really also have an agenda against a lot of things. So it doesn't help fuel the sport. It doesn't push it. It doesn't push everything in the sport, all the positives. It only pushes the negatives that the mainstream writers choose to put out there, and when it comes back untrue, some of the things these guys say, none of these guys retract their stories, so it just made me think, man, I need to do a better, be better on my part as a journalist, man, and, it just makes me want to go harder, man, and put out the real as far as, being like other people to do this quick piggyback shit just to get it out there. And I'm just like, it just made me want to improve on my end. So, as journalists, writers, we owe that shit to the sport, especially if you really love it and it's not just something you do for a niche because you got a journalism degree. I mean, we owe much more respect to the sport, man, and we need to see it prosper. We owe that to the sport to write about it in a way that it helps prosper or helps people, be educated or informed about what's really going on underneath, behind the scenes, man. Another thing he brought up was, this isn't something he really brought up, but this is something I just thought about earlier because this past weekend with the Terrence Crawford Molina fight and then the Charlo Abner Mares fight, I was a little pissed off about the whole numbers and the difference between it. And, it's just a sign of the times, man. Like I said, this shows that Terrence Crawford's fan base is growing in a way that to where HBO could get away and pull some shit like this. But I'm like, going into 2017, man, the network wars need to stop. This fucking head-to-head battles or head-to-head fights is not helping boxing. There's 52 weekends out of the year, 52 Saturdays. And neither network is showing boxing 52 weeks of the year. So, with that said, there is no reason why they need to be throwing bouts on the same weekend. No. Let the biggest card get the shine. You know what I'm saying? Y'all throw your shit next week. Everybody's winning viewer-wise, ratings-wise, and we're still getting the fights we want to see. We had a lot of bullshit happen the latter part of the year with HBO because, the injury with Canelo, it caused them to eliminate his December fight, and they had to scramble around and make stuff to close out the year. So, it could just be an issue of misfortune with that right there. But with all that being said, at the same time, December 10th card was still going to happen regardless. And, I just hate to see these networks battling each other as far as throwing fights against each other on the same night, same time. It's not a winning situation for boxing. I understand that the battle of the numbers was subscription and Showtime, so it probably wasn't going to have the higher viewership. But I've seen lesser quality cards on Showtime get higher viewership than that. And it just left me puzzled as to why this was going on, and that was just something I thought needs to be changed in next year. Networks work together, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be super competition about everything, especially if you guys are involved in pushing the same thing with the sport. You want to see the sport, get the shine at the end of the day, and if you could put yourself in a better situation to win at that by throwing your fight a week later or a week earlier as opposed to competing head-to-head against the other network, you're also going to win. I think that's something Showtime needs to look into more than HBO because HBO doesn't have to necessarily. They have the subscriptions to where they can do the shit they did with the Terrence Crawford Molina card. So, I just wanted to put that out there, man. That was pretty much my final blow for the week, man. And, hopefully you guys gain some insight about, the whole numbers game with the viewers and all that between the networks from that, from everything we just discussed on the show today. With that said, we're going to conclude our show for the week. We'll be back again this Sunday to review all the fights we just talked about and previewed today, as well as any other news that pops up over the next couple of days. For our co-host that couldn't be on with us today, he'll be on Sunday. Big Cool. Big up, fam. We holding you down. Colossal Boxing Talk. Big up to y'all. My other two co-hosts from the Truth and Facts About Boxing. We got Bo and Bernard. You guys want to give out your Twitter handles, YouTube, or anything while you're on?
Truth_FactBox1 on Twitter and as well as Instagram. We just released another video on our YouTube channel, which is Truth and Facts About Boxing. Also, check us out on Facebook under the Movement Facebook group page. Join the page. We'll accept you in. You want to talk boxing with us? We're in that group as well with Twine, as well as with Big Cool of Colossal Boxing. And last but not least, the breakdown analyst, 2K, the guy.
Our other co-host, 2K, big up to him and the guys of Boxing Talk, him and his boy Seth Finesse, man. They definitely be doing a good job on the breakdowns. So check them out on YouTube, the guys of Boxing Talk. A lot of interesting breakdowns, man. Those dudes really go in, real knowledgeable cats about the sport. All of us are at that. No competition between us. All separate entities, but together, we come together, we form this movement thing. So big up to everybody that's supporting, and we'll see y'all on Sunday, man. Peace.
Boxing is the brand.